I'll call this. Seriously? I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass. I will fuck you up. I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass. I will fuck you up.
Objection. Objection.
I will fuck you up. KO. I will fuck you up.
𝗵𝗵𝗲𝗆 𝗵𝗵𝗲𝗆 Trooper 𝗵𝗵𝗲𝗆 𝗵𝗵𝗲𝗵𝗵𝗲𝗵𝗵𝗲 Trooper 𝗵𝗵𝗲𝗵𝗵𝗲.
My name is Aidan Kearney, also known as Turtleboy.
He is a senior editor for Turtleboy Daily News.
I'm a big fan.
We've broken hundreds of stories that the mainstream media won't touch.
Some blogger in Massachusetts who's getting to the bottom of this better than anybody.
Why is it Turtleboy that is covering such important issues? Where is the rest of the media?
You did not say that you were going to take my baby out of revenge and make him a transgender baby.
Stop it.
Don't you want to ask some questions? I know you do.
I do. I
know
have
People don't like the things that I say and want me to stop saying them, but I won't. I'm never going to stop. These are the kind of stories that must be told.
And I will not be intimidated. I will not be silenced. And we will continue on our journey for justice for John O'Keefe and for Karen Reed.
Tick, tick, boom. Noise. Go, baby, we bringing out toys. Boys, chopper be singing, should be on the voice. Bang, bang, we gon' ride out. Gang, gang, we don't die out. Want it like this, ain't no timeouts. Tell me who really gon' find out.
We be disturbing the peace, working, we serving the streets.
Karen Reed has supporters who've shown up in large numbers.
Tick, tick, boom.
Hard body, and not scaring nobody. You make me resort to wildin'. You must be blind by the diamonds. I didn't want it to be this way, but y'all won't need to try this. So it's no way around it. You the loudest one, it's going quiet. We be disturbing the peace, working, we serving the streets. About to go going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
This is the first time I think I've ever seen this. An outpouring of support for someone accused of murdering a Boston police officer. Unbelievable situation. Never seen anything like it.
Tick, tick, boom.
You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me?
We be disturbing the peace, working, we serving the streets. About to go going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep. It's go, 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 go time.
Tick, tick, boom.
Boom. What's up, people? How's everyone doing out there tonight? Good, good, excellent. Welcome to the live show, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody doing? Happy hump day. My name is Aidan Kearney. I am the host of this here program. Some people call me Clarence with Emerson. On Facebook, I go by that. You can call me Uncle Turtleboy, as the old school turtle riders have been known to do. I prefer doctor, if I'm being perfectly honest. I've earned the title, and it feels really good to be called the doctor, and I'm just kind of used to it at this point. So call me doctor, or also permissible. You can call me daddy if you'd like. Daddy is kind of stuck on. I will allow it. You're not required to. I can understand. That could be a little creepy. You know, I already have two people that call me that, but you're allowed to. You're certainly not required to. I don't really care what you call me. Just be here every Tuesday and Saturday night at 9 p.m. sharp, and make sure that you smash that subscribe button for me. Leave a comment afterwards. Maybe give it a thumbs up if you really like it. You know, if you really want to go all out, do whatever you got to do. Just be here, and that's all I ask. So tomorrow night, by the way, we're going to do Turtle Club. You can join that for $15 a month. You get an extra stream that no one else gets, and you get no ads on the website because those ads suck. You know, those ads suck. When I read the ad, when I'm not logged into my account and I read an article, I'm like, fuck, this is really bad. Wish I was logged into my ad free. That would be really cool. So anyway, yeah, so that's that. All right. What else is going to say? Oh, if you guys want to have your messages read out loud to the class tonight, feel free to click on the link at the top of the chat for something called Turtle Chat. And you can give whatever amount of money you want. And in return, you get to write a little message. I will read that message out loud to the class. And, you can write whatever you want in your Turtle Chat. It's because it's your Turtle Chat. Or you can cash at me at $UncleTurtleboy. And you can do it that way. Let me see what I'm up to so far. See if we have any yet. Okay. No. Well, no, we had one the other day that I didn't get to. It said Wendy Lumbert had sent $25. This is on November 10th. And she said, officially a turtle rider. Thank Sean. So apparently Sean got me another turtle rider on there. And yes, I am aware that Sean is apparently decided to go live at the same time as me, because why wouldn't he? And I just don't care at all, like at all. So, and neither should anyone else, because Sean is completely irrelevant. Like Will said, he's a train that has gotten off of a car train that's gone off the tracks, and we're just not part of that train anymore. So he's free to do whatever he wants, and I don't really give a shit. So, anyway, what else am I going to say? Yeah, so I think I had a Cash App earlier too. I could read that one. Let's see what we have here. All right, this was Matthew sent $20 and said, happy 40th birthday, Jamie. So Jamie, happy birthday out there. Love Matt. Matt really cares about you. So there we go. So again, you can do that as well. Christmas is coming up, whatever you want to do. Again, you can click at the link at the top for the Turtle Chat, or you can cash at me. Let me just refresh this, see if we've got it in here. Okay, yeah, we got a couple more to read here. First, we have Lena Stanley sends $15, and she says, my favorite, and I could tell this is like some sort of Brit or Aussie, because you guys always have the U in favorite. You guys love adding U's to shit. Color. Like, there's a lot of words you guys just add U's to for no reason at all, but I'll allow it because you guys invented the language, so I can't really talk shit, you know? She says, my favorite time of the week, turtle time. I have to say, I love how outspoken you are. I'm very much like that myself. Sometimes it can get me in trouble, but watching you have so much self-control while talking to Kim outside the court today makes me admire you so much. The things being said to you were disgusting. I can't stand people lying about rape. Yeah, join the club, as it makes it so much harder for real rapists getting convictions. It hurts my heart seeing you be called that. Hold your head high, doctor. You are a decent and loyal person who will always speak the truth. God bless you, Dr. Turtleboy. P.S. I have not hashtagged in weeks. Well, I appreciate you not hashtagging. And you know, it is. It's like you have to remind yourself the people saying this shit are just the lowest of the low. They don't mean it. Not a single person out there, including Kim Fair, believes for a second that I raped anyone. Like, fucking ridiculous. They don't believe it. It's just they say it because they're just trying to get a rise out of you, and they're just trying to hurt you, and it means nothing. And those words only have power if you give it to them. I mean, give me a break. Everybody knows, like, by now, if you've been paying attention, you know that this person is just a complete degenerate loser, welfare queen succubus who has put multiple men in jail. It's the only thing she knows how to do is put men in jail. That's literally the only talent that she has, because she's not even that good at other things. Okay. That's the only thing that she's good at. And, so that's it. And getting pregnant. But she wasn't even good enough at that. So there's that. So again, nobody actually believes a word these people say. They suck. And there's that. All right. Alicia sends $50 and goes, Doctor, I have to be in Boston on either 12/5, 12/6, 12/12, 12/13, or 12/17. Any Turtleboy court activity on those days? No, we don't have. Our next hearing is on December 2nd. However, on December 12th, I believe, is the established next Karen Reed Day. So I'll go to that, Alicia. So there's that. If you're an out-of-towner, feel free to as well. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Next up. Do we have any more? Sarah sends $25 and she says, I feel what's lost from the Vanity Fair article is the statement of accusation of jury tampering. Well, you read an article on that for us. I've written a few, Sarah. I've written a few. And I feel like it was alluded to in there that there was some jury tampering. They did interview a juror who was dismissed unceremoniously under shady circumstances. But besides from that, yeah. Okay. All right, cool. Do we have a Cash App? No, we don't. Okay, cool. All right. All right. So anyway, let's just get started with the show, shall we? How many people we got watching right now? Oh, nice. 3,300 on YouTube. That's nice to see. How many Rumble Rats we got going? 92. Excellent. But I mean, oh, fucking. All right. Anyway. All right. So let's start off with my interview of Kim Fair today. Let's watch this if you guys didn't see it already. All right. Where'd it go? Oh my God. All right. Did I share my channel? Here it is. All right. So, for those of you unfamiliar, I feel like actually I should bring you down memory lane to who Kimberly Fair is before we get into this too much. All right. All right. So this is back in 2021. I used to write about masking a lot. I fucking hated the masks. And I feel like I was right about that, by the way. Like, we look back on that point in history, kids wearing masks during basketball games and running track. Oh my God. Oh my God. But whatever. People loved masks, some of these people. And Kim Fair, to the surprise of no one, was one of these people that loved masking. And she was not like a real teacher. What was her role in the schools? So this is her. So this is Kimberly Fair. She's from the town of Georgetown, a North Shore town. And, looks can be deceiving. Like, let's just put it that way. She looks nothing like this whatsoever. And then she says, if you support Trump, do not friend request me. Instead, seek therapy, says the completely unhinged woman, and educate yourself. And then I'm thinking of posting all the Trump trash here from Gloucester, Mass, again, but here, and then going into my 15 anti-Trump groups and posting the list there so they can get harassed as much as I do. Keep it up. I'm just getting started. You're messing with the wrong woman. Okay, so she seems senile. I mean, very sane, I meant to say. Very sane. Not senile. And there she is. She was an instructional assistant. So it's not like at a middle school. What middle school was this? At the Triton Public Schools, which is the towns of Rowley, Salisbury, and Newbury. And so she's some sort of instructional assistant inside classrooms. Okay. So there she is, a paraprofessional. That's how schools save money. All right. And these are the kinds of shit that she used to post on Facebook. She would say, the town I live in is deciding on whether to mandate masks in the schools this fall. It's fair to say that there's some real fucking morons here. Basically, these dipshits are saying, let it be the parents' choice to vaccinate and wear masks. Yes, stupid. So this is her on Facebook talking shit about her own, the taxpayers, the parents of the kids that she has in class, calling them, what words was she calling them? Dipshits. Oh, and she's calling them that because they're saying, let it be the parents' choice to vaccinate and wear masks. Like, yeah, like if I don't want my kid to have to get this stupid shot and wear a stupid mask, then that's stupid, according to the woman who teaches in the school. That's stupid. All right. Oh, and don't vilify people that opt not to vaccinate and or wear masks. Don't vilify them. Okay, so she doesn't like that. Is telling these morons they're selfish and are complete assholes vilifying them? I do hope so. On a side note, I posted my mask post on the Georgetown parents page. I had one Trumpster, anti-masker, tell me my post was classy. I guess the F-bombs were too much for her holier than thou self. This from a woman whose profile picture is her at a shooting range, trying her best to do her best Charlie's Angels. Okay. So she wrote on the page, I'm no doctor, but all the parents out there bitching about your kid possibly putting on a mask again. I promise you any toxins you think your kid might breathe in from a damn mask are a lot safer than breathing in COVID. See, that turned out to be completely untrue. So I just want to point that out, that no, kids didn't die from this shit. You fucking liars. We made our stupid kids wear all these stupid masks for like 2 years over something that was no threat to them at all. And I'll never forget that, ever. But it seems we've moved on from that. Also, the refusal to wear a mask increases the chances of widespread COVID, which then opens up the door to schools going back to remote. Now, this is in August of 2021. We were way past remote learning by August of 2021 because you're starting on like the 2022 school year. Like that was the first school year where there was no masking, nothing. Like that, the 2020 and 2021 year was like we were masking and hybrid and stupid shit like that. And then 2021 comes around, we're like, fuck it, it's done. You know, over. We're not doing this shit anymore. People had enough. So shut the fuck up and wear a fucking mask if recommended or mandated. Okay. Then you will bitch about your kid's depression. Bitch about it. Like what? Okay. Sincerely, a public school special ed teacher who will be in school regardless of a shutdown, who already had COVID and is fully vaccinated. So you're safe then. Okay. And it will still be wearing a mask all day like a retard. And will do so because it's the right fucking thing to do to protect my students. So whoever wrote this is just, I hope they're ashamed and embarrassed, but they're probably not. They should be though. But either way, so she's posting this about parents. Okay. And then she starts writing this shit. It gets worse. There are some great people out there, and there are some who belong on their knees below Trump. Lots of wise vermin. Okay. And then I have a plan for that dreadful Trump flag I confiscated. Stay tuned. And then she posted a video of herself just ripping to shreds. It's so cringe. Ripping to shreds the Trump flag in her living room with a bottle of wine. That's normal. So anyway, she posted on this page, okay, she made the following posts about some guy. So there was some veteran, I guess, who was like against the masks. And he's like, I have PTSD or some shit. And this is what she said to him. She said, PTSD there's a way you could cure that very easily, you know. And that means like the way to cure PTSD very easily is just kill yourself. So she's telling some veteran who's against masking that who has PTSD that he should just kill himself. This is what she's saying. And this is a kind of teacher, like I guess a paraprofessional, works in the schools, is around other people's kids, telling a veteran, you know, or, you know, she goes, yeah, or kill yourself, she said to him, or kill yourself. So there you go. She's like, basically, just go and kill yourself, mister. So that's 𝗵𝗿𝗄𝗆. Now, as a result of this article being published, she was fired. So she was fired. She was terminated. Now, she denies that she was fired. When I talked to her today, she denies it. But we have proof. Let me pull it up. Give me 1 sec. Pull this up. Gotta download these. Give me 1 minute. I just got some of these. Give me 1 moment to pull these up. All right. So she denies, right, that she was fired. But then here's a couple posts. Check this out that she made shortly after this all came out. Let's check this one out first. Okay. Oh, it's muted? Okay, hold on. I understand this is muted. So let me just change. Yep, I'm getting all the messages now telling me it's muted. Hold on. I have a wrong setting on. Hold on. I'll play it right. Settings, audio. I got to use my computer mic. Okay. Let me know if you can hear this. So this is her explaining how she got into the Karen Reed thing. Here we go. Can you hear this? There's still no sound? Oh, motherfucker. Okay, hold on. Let me try it. All right, I'll try one more time. Here we go.
I am about to post a video, and I really hope that some of you take the time to watch it, especially those of you who live in Massachusetts. You all have seen what this right-wing extremist �ط𝗏boy has done to me. Well, I'm not the only one.
Right-wing
and right
extremist.
now, he's doing it on a scale that is just sick. There's a case, a Karen Reed case in Massachusetts. I'm not commenting on the case because I don't know enough about it.
Okay, so stop right there. I'm not commenting on the case because I don't know enough about it. She doesn't know anything about it. But she sees she's one of these people that after I wrote about her, I wrote about her in 2021. A lot of people, when they get written about, they just kind of, move on with their life. You know what I mean? Like they just, like I've written tens of thousands of blogs over the years. And most people I've written about, I don't even remember who they are, right? You just move on with your life. Okay. And you know, if you're nice, if you want to message me later on and be like, look, at this is a while ago. Can you take the article down? I can't get a job. Sure, no problem. Okay, it's not gonna. I'm not trying to make it so you can't move on with your life or anything like that. But other people go a different route. They go the crusty panties route or the Gaffney route, and they join the Isle of Misfit Pajama Raptors. And they go over there and they all kind of team up and they're like, we're going to take Turtle down by talking about him 24/7. And this is going to be, he's done this time. We're going to get him. And they've been doing it. And it's crazy watching them do it because it's been going on for years. Like Gaffney got written about like 6 years ago. And he posts about me 7 years ago, every single day. He can't stop. He might be the record holder. A lot of them lose their steam over time. Like I think about some of the earlier, like Kevin Lynch was the guy. And Kevin is pro Kearney, by the way. And most of you probably like, who the fuck's Kevin Lynch? Kevin Lynch is this guy who I had beef with. He was like the biggest Turtleboy villain ever from like 20. I forget. I wrote about him. He was running for mayor of Fitchburg and he didn't want to shovel his sidewalk. And he made a big post about it. And then we just used to fuck with him and he would fuck with us so badly back. He caused some real damage. Until 2018, when I had him on my show, this went on for like 2 years, and I had Lynch on my show, and I'm like, look what do we got to do? Like, you're causing some real problems here, Kevin, because you report my page. Because he's like, I spend 3 hours a day reporting your Facebook pages, and all my Facebook pages would just get taken down all the time. And I'm like, bro, this is like, I need Facebook. I need to be able to share my content out there. I'm banned from Twitter and shit. I need to be able to use Facebook. And this is before Elon owned Twitter. And so eventually I just had Lynch on and we had it out and we yelled at each other. And I'm like, look, what do we got to do? What do I got to do to get you to stop reporting my pages? And Kevin Lynch told me, you got to stop posting pictures of my 15-year-old niece, which I was never doing. And I said, deal. I will never talk about your 15-year-old niece, which is an easy thing to give up because I never did it in the first place. So, and now Kevin and I, we didn't talk for several years, and then he appeared and he's pro Karen Reed. This Karen Reed thing has united me with people who previously didn't like me, right? And now they see me in a different light. So it's nice. It's cool, but other people go a different route. Other people just are like, I wrote about them once and they can't stop. They can't. Their whole existence on the internet revolves around yours truly. They can't help themselves. And 𝗵𝗿𝗄𝗆 is one of these people. Now it's only been 3 years for her, which is young in some of the truly crazy ones. Like Crusty Panties has been 5, Gaffney's been 7. I can't even think. Can anybody else think some of the legends in Turtleboy history that have just not gone away? Like even, Didi Delgado was around for like maybe 2 years. I can't even think. Does anybody think of some good ones? I'm like forgetting ones, like back in the day ones. Giannetti just whenever he's on a crack, whenever he's not high. Oh, Ryan Waters. Ryan Waters is one. Ryan Waters has been around he'll never go away. Yeah, like Giannetti is like, I see a lot of people saying Giannetti. He's just so high all the time. And like, that's the only time I ever hear from him. And he's funny at least. And he's completely harmless. Monica Cannon Grant, I'm more like into, Kylie Kirkpatrick's another one. Kylie Kirkpatrick's been around since about 5 years now, late 2019. Lorena Cali was around for like 2 or 3 years. And I stopped hearing from her. Cassandra Bosworth, I've written about her many times before, but she's not one that like was obsessed with me. Big Black Jeffrey, he was around, for a little bit. No, me and Eric Neal are cool now. I like Eric Neal. I never really minded. I just call him Skip Tracer. And I told Skippy that I'm like, it was a slow day when I wrote about you. He was like running a Middleton Facebook group. I don't really care for just kind of busted his chops a little bit. He's not that bad a guy. I don't think he's that bad a guy. So, old balls. Oh man, that's really old school. He died though, so he's gone. He's dead. Big Black Jeffrey, dude. If you need to hear more about BBJ, oh, that guy, Big Black Jeffrey. I called him Sergeant Sausage. He was something, man. He tried taking me to court so many times and failed. Sometimes he would come as a guy. Sometimes he would come as a girl. You know, it is what it is. But anyway, 𝗵𝗿𝗄𝗆 has like staying power. Like she's going to be around a while. Unfortunately, like fake victims could be around a while. Krusty's not going anywhere. Gaffney's not going anywhere. And no matter how much, like their goal is to stop me, right? Their goal is to like get me off the internet, I guess. I don't know what or put me in jail, which they kind of, I mean, I did go to jail for 60 days, but it wasn't like a sentence. You know what I mean? Like it was like a bail revocation. That almost doesn't count. I haven't been convicted of anything. I never will be. Like that's the best you're going to get is some corrupt cops to, you know, come up with some bullshit charges on me is what it is. So anyway, so she's admitting in this video here that she doesn't follow the Karen Read story, doesn't know anything about it, but she hates me. And she's like, his mob is going after people again. So it's like her natural instinct to join forces with whoever I'm exposing. She would join forces with the devil themselves. Now, keep in mind, she's supposedly this wicked, ultra liberal person who is like full Black Lives Matter, full fuck the cops are racist, fuck MAGA. And look who she's jumped in bed with now. Like the most corrupt cops ever. Like, and a bunch of MAGA people, because that's what the McAlberts are. Like, there's not a lot of Kamala voters, not a lot of white dudes for Kamala in the McAlbert, you know, clan. But she doesn't give a fuck because she has no principles. This woman has like her. She hates me. I have like you saw those postings how much she hated Donald Trump, right? I have replaced Donald Trump in her eyes. Like she used to be consumed with him, and then she found me. So I'm kind of bigger than Trump in some ways, if that makes sense. So anyway, back to this.
I'm not commenting on the case because I don't know enough about it. But it's not the case that's the issue. It's the way he goes about what he does.
Right.
Through intimidation, harassment, threats. He brings his turtle riders on board to help harass and dox people, posting their social security numbers, posting their addresses, posting their telephone numbers. He is dangerous. And what he's doing right now, it's making me absolutely sick. So I hope you guys watch it, especially video number 2, because you'll see just what a trash bag this pathetic excuse for a human is.
It was one article, like she would be forgotten. No one would remember her at all, but she can't help herself. So then she makes this post over on, this is 2022, I think. So it says here, okay, where to begin? Today I have a Zoom meeting with my lawyer and the school district I previously worked for. It's been 6 months since a right-wing extreme blogger decided to write an article about me. The district didn't have the balls to stand up to this right-wing blogger and his minions who decided to call my place of employment to complain about me. So she did nothing wrong. And like nothing, her telling a veteran with PTSD to kill himself, nothing wrong. She had no part in her own termination. Everything is someone else's fault. The right-wing blogger and his minions didn't like what I had to say politically and socially and retaliated against me. They didn't agree with my views, specifically on masks. See, it's not, Kim, it's not your views on masks that, you know, offended people. It was the fact that you were name-calling them, and then he told the guy to kill himself who had PTSD. Like that's what did it. Just FYI. Okay. No one should lose their job. No one should lose their job because someone doesn't like what they said. but yet it happens all the time. And quite frankly, the left invented counterculture. And a lot of people on the right, a lot of right wingers are like, "Oh, we don't cancel culture is bad." That's been a right wing thing to say over the years. Cancel culture is bad. We can't. No, I'm the opposite. I'm like, oh, okay, so this is what we're doing. Cancel culture now. So you invented cancel culture, and I perfected it. You don't cancel me, I cancel you. And that's what I turn cancel culture into. Oh, you like, oh, so I play on the battlefield of my choice, like of your choice, not my choice. If you want to play in this field where people call each other's jobs and we get each other fired over shit we don't like on the internet, okay, that's fine. If there's unilateral disarmament, if one side says that's bad, you shouldn't be doing that, and then the other side calls your work and gets fired, the only one suffering there is going to be you. See what I'm saying? The other side suffers no casualties in that war. That's how you lose a war. So me, it's like, oh, well, you've declared war, and now it's all out. Now we all cancel each other's jobs, and we all do it until we can just reach an agreement where we all say we're not doing, no one's allowed to do it anymore. Until then, we got to cancel you. Like, that's it. And I'm better at it than you. I'm a relentless cunt. I will make sure you never work again. It's not that hard. Let's give all one, like, come on. Again, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do that. That's not me. That's not who I naturally am. But it is what it is. Oh God. Oh, she's here. Speaking of, so she looks like Christina's drunk again. She got screwed over by her new friends, Krusty and them. They've posted, I guess, apparently some messages that she sent. The fake victim posted screenshots of her messages with me on her page, and she's mad about it, and she's in the Discord today. And apparently on Discord, she goes by Molly Elizabeth. And she's like saying it's not her, but it's quite frankly got to be her, because this is what she said to them today. So she said to them, so she says, so between Lindsay and you could both not take what I said down. So she's saying this to Kate. So Krusty Panties and Fake Victim have posted screenshots of her conversation, which they have done. And so she's saying, you could both not take down what I said down. So it's got to be her. Then Krusty says, I didn't put it up. And she goes, Christina says, girl, I know she answered you by now. So Fake Victim. Like, Fake Victim has posted screenshots of Christina's messages with me on her page. And she wants them down because she shared them with the Fake Victim in confidence. And as it turns out, you can't trust the Fake Victim because she's a little bit selfish. Okay. And then she says, girl, I know she answered you by now, the Fake Victim. And then Kate says, I'll ask her again. I talked to her today, but totally forgot to bring it up. Honestly, I'm sorry, driving at the moment. And then Christina says, this is why I don't take a side. Everyone's an asshole on both sides. I'm just being independently pissed at Aidan, and I'm not standing up for her being raped anymore. Maybe she was lying. There's no maybe, Christina. Stop it. Fuck both of you for ignoring this for 48 hours. And as it turns out, that post has been up for 48 hours. So this is obviously her. Obviously. And I love when she says there, I'm not standing up for her being raped anymore. So basically, Christina is such a trash bag that she is saying that, like, I only pretended to believe that you were a victim of the most heinous crime possible, really, a sexual crime in which your body is penetrated against your will, right? I only pretended to believe that because rape is a joke to me. Right? Rape is such a joke to me that whoever I'm mad at on the internet, I pretend to believe that they're a rapist, because rape is just a joke to people like 𝗵𝗵, who, again, people asked me this the other day. They're like, oh, you're going to come for her job? I don't give a fuck. I don't have time to call her job. I don't really know where she works. I don't really care. But if I were her employer, I would definitely fire her. And if her employer is watching this, I hope he does fire her. I mean, he can do whatever he wants, or she can do whatever she wants. It's a free country. It's your business. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. But you'd be insane to employ a person like this. This is a grown ass. I think this woman's like 36, maybe. I don't know, 37. Grown ass woman, right? Who raging alcoholic, lives with her dad, right? Says she wants to have kids. Please don't. Oh my God, dear, please don't. Please do not reproduce. That's all I'm saying. So Christina is, just really pretending to believe a woman she knows is lying simply because she's mad at me. And why is she mad at me? Because the 𝗂𝗏 thing. So it's actually the opposite. This is an interesting one. Usually they believe Karen Reed is guilty because they don't like me. And so then they pretend to say Karen Reed's guilty. She's one who's been a fan of me for years and years and years, bought my book, bought merchandise, all this shit, and is now left me because she believes Karen's guilty, which means she's just stupid. Like she's actually not she's not a McAlbert, a real one. They never accept someone like her. And she's not one of these people who's saying Karen Reed is guilty because she's mad at me. She is just a person. She's this weird other area, this gray area of a person who used to like me and is so convinced Karen's guilty that she doesn't like me now. So she's just stupid. Like there's no other way to say it. You just have to be a stupid person to do this. Now I see people saying in the comments, you attract, the crazies. I never had anything with this woman ever. And I never would. Ew. Okay. But I can't help who likes the content. You know what I mean? She liked Turtleboy, the content. So is what it is. Anyway, she went on to say in this Discord, 𝗏𝗏 says, you told me last night, don't worry about it. I didn't post anything. And then Christina says, I stood up for her and I understand she didn't ask me to, but I got a fucking blog written about me and she's silent. So she's denying this is her, but it's a person who's had a blog written about them in the last 48 hours. It's like, why do you, okay. And then 𝗏𝗏 says, I can only control me, not going to make excuses, but I know she has a lot going on right now. And then Christina says, she's starting to sound like exactly who he made her out to be. Yeah, no shit. Then 𝗏𝗏 says, I don't think that's fair. And Christina says, only responding or being involved when it suits her. That's your girl, your best friend. Good luck with her. It's not going to end up well for you. Oh, we know that. We know that. Okay. And then she says, you're trusting an extremely selfish person. Fuck Kate and Lindsay too. I regret attempting to help either of you. It takes like 3 days for these alliances to fall apart. You hate to see it. They're all just such shitty people that they all end up turning on each other. I don't understand why you're upset with me not having control over something else. You've talked to her, but you forgot what I said. I sent her about 20 messages. It's weird you both just forgot. No more siding with either of you. You get what you give. So there's that. There's that. Okay. All right. So back to this 𝗵𝗏 thing. Let me change my mic. All right. That should be back. All right. So back to this. It says no one should lose their job because their employer doesn't have the balls to stand up for their employees against the right-wing cultists and fake emails. The district gave me an option to resign and pay me through the end of the year, or they would terminate me. So that means that you're terminated. That means she's fired because they're like, we can fire you, or you can quit right now. And yeah, we'll just give you a small little severance package to go the fuck away. That's it. The middle finger that I'm holding up in my picture was my answer. I told the district, go ahead, terminate me. I will fight this. So here I am. Spoiler alert, she fought it and she lost. So there's that. And then she got a new job the next year and she tried keeping this a secret. And then she got fired from there. She signed because she's tagged someone. She told everyone, you're never going to find out where I'm working. And she goes, my friends at work celebrated Ruby getting her master's in special ed on my last day. Okay. Amazing humans. And then she tagged somebody named Diana Bermudez. And then you could see on her page where she works. Crest Collaborative. So she ended up getting fired from that one. Okay. Anyway, so there she is. So she's done. So anyway, so that's the background on Kimberly Fair. So she is she goes by Andy Dufresne's on Twitter, and she's a complete lunatic. She's I think she's in her 50s. I don't know. She's the poster child for why filters should be illegal. And I saw her there today. There were a grand total of 2 Smurf people there today, as we call them. Again, these are the people that want justice for John O'Keefe. They suddenly took an interest in this over the summer when it was nice out. They showed up a couple times. They had their balloon knots on, right? And so I decided to go over and interview them.
Good morning. How you guys doing? So where's the crowd today? Where's all the blue people?
I never know.
Really? How are you feeling about the election results?
I'm excited.
You are? You're excited to
Yes,
live in Trump's
Trump
America?
couldn't be more
That's good. Hello, sir. What's your name?
So right there, right? We'll get to that guy in a moment. So I couldn't be more thrilled about living in Trump's America. That's how I know I've surpassed Donald Trump on her hate meter. She no longer seems to give a shit about Trump. That used to be what she posted about 24/7. Now she's just so consumed with me. You know, somebody that until today she had never had a conversation with before, that I've successfully replaced her. Now, the guy next to her, this guy, you might have seen him before. He has shown up his name is Benny Blanco, apparently. And to say that he is a weirdo is like an understatement of the century. Let me see if I have this. Okay. So I'll show you this. We'll cut back to this video in 1 second. We got to explain who this guy is. All right. So this is him. This is him with Plevin. He was the guy playing the balloon knot. He's just the weirdo that stands there and plays the balloon knot song out of the megaphone. That's him. What a fucking weirdo. And to say, I mean, this is just, I mean, look at this collection of fucking weirdos. Just look at them in there. Look at the 4 of them there. First, you got Plevin, who's just fucking Plevin. I mean, look at him. It's a weirdo, creepy guy at the bar. He's the only guy I've ever seen who got better looking with terminal cancer some fucking how. Okay. And then you got this little dumpy little Mexican thing. And we'll get to him in a moment, who stands there and plays the balloon knot song. You have Julie Ginto, who, speaking of fucking crazy bitches, one of the Food Stamp 5, absolutely fucking bonkers, this woman. Just underrated bonkers, hasn't really gotten the attention. Used to be a free Kearney person. Used to come to our protests and stand there with signs and all this shit. And then in the back, like really creepy, that's Sean the Gulf's friend there. Rogue. He goes by Antiquated Rogue on social media. Fuck. It's fucking weirdo. Natalie's buddy. And this guy, remind me. I have to follow up about Natalie's story with somebody. Remind me later. Okay. Anyway, Rogue. Not only is he just a weirdo now that supports these cop killers and these nut jobs, but he's also like a huge racist, like, and not one of these like people that you just call a racist, that left wingers call racist, like an actual racist, like says some really racist shit online, like about Jews, immigrants, blacks, you know, you name it. And this is just look at the four of them. This is what you have to be like to think Karen Reed's guilty. You have to be like one of these people. Okay. So, how do I get out of this? All right. So this is Benny Blanco is his name. Okay. There he is right there. And if you look on his mentions on Twitter, it's so funny if you go in his replies. He sits there all day and just replies to random women that you know he's masturbating to. You know this guy's just sitting there beating his putt all day, right? To just this strange way. And he's got a weird fetish. Flat women. Now, I understand, okay, there's nothing wrong with banging you know, not everybody's got big tits, okay? Not a requirement. I've always been an ass man myself. All right. And, you know, not a deal breaker. Right. But this guy has like a fetish for small tits. I've never heard of that before. I mean, sometimes it's like, whatever, like if you have a nice body and you're lacking up there, like that's fine. You look great in other places. Right. But I've never heard a guy before that goes around and it's like, so what are you into? Oh, flat chested women. My fucking favorite. Love little titties. Fucking love them. Love him. This guy loves little titties. Like, so, look at it. He's like, so he goes, I'm so tired of men rejecting me because I'm too flat. First of all, what a thirsty post. Like, who would post something like that? But it just attracts people like Benny Blanco, who says, don't let no man make you feel rejected, and you don't need a man to tell you how you look. You are beautiful. Like he's the creepy guy online respond. Like he's the guy that leaves comments on porn pages. You ever see those? You know, when you're on porn sites and you're like watching videos, obviously, and then you like click on the comments and you're like, you see the people commenting and like, oh, fucking stroking my cock so hard to this. Like, you know, I don't know if you guys read the comments on porn, but it's funny sometimes. And this is one of those guys. He's the kind of guy that leaves comments on porn. You know what I mean? Like that's him. So he just sits there all day. And I don't know if he thinks these people actually read his replies or whatever, but you know, he's got like 100 different OnlyFans subscriptions and like watch, like is all like, oh yeah, probably definitely likes to watch women pee. Like he seems like one of those. All right. Again, no judgment for that. But then here's another. Can a flat chest mom still be hot? Absolutely. Yes. He got 244 likes on that. Oh my God. And he's got more. So he's single too. Somebody said, I love when guys say they avoid drama, but are also dating a woman who everyone knows is completely insane. I don't know anything about that. Bro, stop fronting and just, I mean, I was in jail for that same reason that when this post was made. Admit you love crazy women until your shit is on fire. Then he goes, you know what funny? The same way a woman would light my shit on fire, so would I embrace the craziness. Muha. Well, you're hanging out with the right women, Benny Blanco. Let me tell you that much. He says, name something you want after sex. More. Okay. Okay, Benny Blanco. I would love to be married once, so I would give it a try. Okay. It's normal. Have you ever hooked up with a coworker? No. I wish I was that lucky. So this is the kind of guy Benny Blanco is. And he's also into the fake victim. Like he's wooing her. I think him and Grande are in an epic struggle over who can be in the friend zone the longest with fake victim. Because he says here to her, mic drop, no doubt, Lindsay. Like I've been saying, I have your back with whatever you want to do. I'm here for you and mean whatever. One heart. Oh my goodness. And then he said, she makes one of her rants about me, and he says, I'm here for you, Lindsay. So Benny Blanco's there for her. So she's got that going for her. She's got that going for her, right? She's got Benny Blanco. She doesn't have, what she really wants, but she's got Benny Blanco. So, and I got news for you, Benny Blanco. You don't got to try that hard. She's not one of those. You don't have to try very hard. So just go for it. Or else you're going to get stuck in the friend zone like Grant. You don't want to be, you can't get stuck in the friend zone with the hoe. That's embarrassing too. But anyway, let's get back to the interview now with 𝗵𝗵𝗄𝗃 and this guy. Now that we've given his background, I mean, I got to give you guys background on like every person I encountered here. All right.
You didn't ask my name.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we know each other.
Oh.
You're 𝗵𝗵𝗄𝗃, correct?
I am.
Okay, so Kim, why did you suddenly take an interest in this case?
Why? Because I think Clarence.
Right. So does that have anything to do with the fact that I wrote about you 3 years ago?
No,
so it has nothing. That's just a coincidence.
I love you.
Remind me what the story was about.
I don't remember. It's been so long.
So you were working in the public schools, correct? And do you still work there?
I'm not working right now because I am home taking care of my son, who is special needs.
Okay, so you're unemployed?
What?
I work at home.
For who?
I get paid to take care of my son.
Okay, so the government pays you.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. So you...
She has no idea that she just defined unemployed. So you get paid, you stay at home all day, and the government just sends you money. Yes. Okay, so you're unemployed. Okay, thank you for clarifying that. And I love how she acts like it's like a choice. And I guess my other question would be, who watched your son when you had a job then? Like, how did that work? What was your son doing all day when you did have employment before we got your ass fired? Canceled your ass. Cancel Kim. And just, I mean, look at her face. Look at her. I mean, she can afford hair extensions, I guess, because that ain't real. Oh my God. Look at her. Oh.
Suddenly took an interest in this story after I started writing about it, correct?
I started hearing about this story actually before you started writing about it, before you started grifting off of it. Yeah.
But you didn't take an interest in it.
I didn't take an interest.
You weren't out here supporting John O'Keefe or anything like that.
So now I'm out here. Do you think I would stand out here freezing just because I don't like you?
Weird.
No.
Oh, I absolutely.
Oh, absolutely, 100% you would. She goes, do you think I would stand out here freezing just because I don't like you? Oh, I don't think that. I know that. That's literally why you're there. You are only interested in this case because of me. You admitted it in your video that you don't know anything about the case. You just don't like me. That is one. I am 100% the reason that you are out there, 𝗵𝗵𝗄𝗃, because I own you. That's what you don't realize. I own you. For the last 3.5. Not only did I take you a job, not only did I make you unemployed, I made you unemployable, and then I stole your brain. For 3.5 years, I owned it, and I will own it as long as I feel like owning it until you decide that you don't want me to own it anymore, and you just kind of move on with your life. The chances of that happening are slim to none. So here's what you're going to do tomorrow, Kim. You're going to wake up tomorrow, and you're going to tweet about me, okay? You're going to tweet about how much you don't like me and what a bad person I am, but you will be thinking about me. And you're going to watch this. Of course, you're going to fucking watch this. And you're going to go find clips of me. And you're going to post the clips. And you're going to say what I'm a bad person I am. And you're going to say I'm going to jail. But I got bad news for you, Kim. I mean, I know you think I'm going to jail. Because you're a literal crazy person. Right? And you've surrounded yourself with other crazy people who seem to think the same thing. But the thing about that is, Kim, the reason I have such a big following isn't because I found all these crazy people. It's because I say common sense things. I say true things. And the fact of the matter is that I'm not going to jail ever. Even if I was convicted of all this shit, they're not putting someone in jail, okay, over fucking internet. Like I wrote things on the internet. I called people on the phone. Like, you don't go to jail for that. It's Massachusetts. That's not how this works. Okay. And I'm never going to be convicted anyway, because they have no intention of convicting me. They basically gave up after they indicted me. They haven't done anything. It's been over a year. They've done nothing. They've made no steps, no progress, nothing. They got nothing. Mello might be dead. I don't know. Cosgrove is 1,000 years old. It's not going very well. Okay. So I'm not going to jail, but go ahead.
No. So you suddenly decided to take an interest in this case after I did, and you've been obsessed with me for several years.
I'm not obsessed with you because
you post about me a lot,
actually
don't
one
you?
of the most disgusting people I've ever met.
Have you seen the people that you hang out with?
They're really nice people.
You think 𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏 person?
Have you seen the people you hang out with?
Well,
What trailer did they all come out?
How many of Krusty's kids?
Wait till you see where she lives. Jenna Altman's got a picture of where she lives. Oh my God. Oh, like if Kentucky moved to Massachusetts, it would be her property, which I'm sure, I assume she got it in the divorce. I'm assuming she's like divorced or whatever. She's living off of probably using her 22-year-old son, who she claims is special needs, so she can collect Social Security, live off of that. That's what all of these people do. They all just grift off the system. They all have kids that they use as ways to collect more money from the government, not work, etc. Okay? And that might be a wig. She's like, that hair ain't real. No fucking way is that hair real. All right, let's play some more.
Kids does she have left over, you know?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Her name is Catherine Peter. She lost 2 of her kids due to years of neglect. Do you support child abuse, or just when Kate Peter does it?
I don't know what you're talking
And so I will always ask all of these people this. Like, you don't get to have the moral high ground with me if you hang out with Krusty Panties, because Krusty Panties lost 2 of her children due to years of abuse and neglect. Years of it. Literally lost them. Like, there's nothing more heinous than abusing your own children and being unable to care for them because you're such a piece of shit. So if you associate with someone like that, you have forever, and I mean forever, given up any sort of attempt at having the high ground in anything. So that is definitely one of the first things I'll bring up. And I'll bring it up around Plevin or whatever. That's the first one I want to know is, you seem to condone child abuse because you hang around with one of the most notorious child abusers ever. Do you have any, like, that's the only thing I'm interested in with these people is your, condoning child abuse. Well, let's talk about that. That's it. Because you're a piece of shit. Go on.
Well, she abused and neglected her kids and lost them to the state. Do you support that?
Oh, and what about your kids? You're an embarrassment to your children.
But I haven't lost
I love when they say that. I haven't lost them to the state. Like, I love when they bring up, what about your kids? What about them? They're great. They're fucking awesome. They, like, my son kills it in school. You understand he's 98th percentile in the STAR assessment? 98th percentile. He can read. He's been reading books since he was 4. He's a fucking genius. He's going to first, what's it called? Reconciliation. Like, because he's in 2nd grade. So they have to go and, go to confessional booth and say they're sorry for the sins. And I'm like, I go, I don't even know what he's going to confess. I don't even know if he's ever sinned before. Like, my daughter, well, she's definitely lied to me a few times. And like, when I was 7, I was sneaking shit and whatever. Like, I don't think this kid's ever sinned. So my kids are great. My kids are fantastic. And I see him every day. And, getting used to this new lifestyle where I'm living separately, but making time to see him every day. So whenever they bring that up, it's like, bro, you don't even, like, what? My kids are healthy, happy, whatever. Like, okay, do you think that's like a shot at me? Like, they're where are they getting this from? Like, you're literally hanging out with people who lost their fucking kids. Lost their kids. Like, bro. Anyway, back to this.
What are you going to do when you go to prison with your 19
Oh, I'm not going to prison.
Oh,
it's okay. You think so?
You have another case coming up that you're not even aware of.
Oh, what's that?
You'll find out.
Oh, sounds scary.
You'll find out in January.
Oh, I'll find out in January.
So they love this shit. Oh, another case. Now, this is meant to, like, get me to be like, oh my God, what's she talking about? Am I in trouble? If there was something brewing, they wouldn't tell her. Like she would not be the one to know. And I'm not worried about it because I haven't broken the law at all. Like, and it wouldn't come in. Why would it come in January? They're always doing this. Always like, oh, November 10th. It's going down Tuesday. It's going to happen. Well, nothing ever happens. Nothing ever happens. There was the one arrest, and then on October 11th, and then there was the fucking bullshit setup on December 23rd, and then that's it. So I don't break any laws. And this is all the, and it also shows that like to these people, the criminal justice system is just a game. It's just a game that they can use to play to kind of put people in jail who they don't like on the internet.
January. So what's going to happen? So is there a grand jury? Is that what you're saying? Why wait till January?
You'll find out.
So just to remind me, that article I wrote about you in 2021, do you remember exactly what you did?
No. Want to remind me?
I believe you were making inappropriate comments about parents at the school that you were teaching at.
No. The comments I made was I just wanted people to wear masks.
Right, but you were saying negative things about Trump supporters, correct?
My words. What you said was that I don't care about kids that are depressed or anything. But what I said was, if we don't go to school and wear masks, we're not going to be able to stay in school, and then your kids are going to be depressed because they're home.
So you're a mask
you
person.
Twisted it. You gaslight. Just
So
like
why did you lose your
job?
job then?
And guess what?
Why did you lose your job?
I didn't lose my job.
But you don't work there anymore.
I resigned and I got a payout from them.
Oh, you got a payout. How much did they pay you
Nice
out?
fat check. You didn't know that?
Really? That's interesting. You did lose your job.
No, I resigned and they gave me a glowing recommendation.
And so it's been 3 years now.
And
you've been kind of posting about me ever since?
No, I actually have been working.
Oh.
But now I'm not because I take care of myself. But I will be going back to work in about 6 months.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So what do you got going on here?
I'm not talking to you because I don't talk to alleged rapists.
You sell merch here?
I don't talk to alleged rapists.
Oh, you're not talking to one. It's okay.
You are an alleged rapist.
Okay.
Yeah, I know the whole story.
So let's just stop right there. So this is a thing they love to say. They just love to be like alleged rapist. So not really. I mean, who's alleged? Who's alleged? Who's alleged? Like, is it? Oh, so a liar, like one of the most prolific liars ever, a woman who's been caught, a woman who lied about being pregnant, having a couple abortions of the fake baby in my real driveway. So a person who lied about assault and battery with 5 different guys. See, unlike Shaun of the Gulf, she actually has 5 guys, but she put them all in jail. She put the 5 guys in jail. So, including her dad. And so a woman who, after getting caught and being questioned by police for wiretapping because she had a Ring camera in her bedroom and didn't tell me about it and was questioned about that, she suddenly came up with this thing that she says that she was raped. Okay. And there was a police report for this actually, and 𝗵𝗵𝗄𝗆 has published it. And it's a graphic police report, so I haven't shared it, but 𝗵𝗵𝗄𝗆 has. And in the police report, it clearly states that she shows them a video and that the police clearly state that she said that she had been drugged or something and it was unconscious or whatever. And the office, she shows the video. So she actually shows the cop a fucking video. And the cop describes what he watches in the video. Okay. And makes sure to point out that she's fully conscious and like talking, and is like both parties it appears to be completely consensual, he says. And that's it. So there's nothing there. And that's it. And then so that's the end of it. And she says it says at the end that she doesn't want to pursue this any further. And they're like, well, and they claim, well, it didn't go anywhere because she didn't want to. She didn't want to pursue it. Well, now she does. So what's stopping her? What's stopping her? Well, she can go try to pursue that again. Give it a shot. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I don't think it's going to. But anyway, so they bring this up like it's going to be like, oh, you just throw that word out there and it's whatever. But like everybody knows that obviously there was no rape. And you can get, it is, to have that thrown around, it's like, that's not a small thing. I mean, I could easily fight them at their own level and be like, you molested a child. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do, because it's just like these people are fucking low, man. And everybody and their mother, anybody important knows ain't no rate. And anybody who lies about something like that is just scum. Scum. And it's libelous too. And so I would, let's just say that when you lie about someone like that and you repeatedly tell that lie and then other people repeat that lie, whatever, that's called libel or slander if it's spoken. And it's actionable. And so I think that something might be in the works with that because, and I hope certain people can afford attorneys because we're going balls to the wall on that one. We ain't taking that one lying down. So just stay tuned with that one. Anyway, back to this.
Every detail, and it's disgusting.
So do you support child abuse or no?
I support
You support a child abuser.
John O'Keefe.
You
I support
support-
the family of John O'Keefe.
You support the two children that Catherine Peter abused and
I
lost
don't know what you're talking about.
custody to the state?
I support John
Yeah,
O'Keefe.
it's I guess it's easier to
And
look
I
the other
can't
way,
wait
right?
till you
Look
go
the
to
other way.
prison.
Oh, I won't be going.
Oh,
to
you
prison.
are.
That's okay.
And remember what I
If you
told
say
you.
so.
But look, mark my words. January. You don't even know what's coming.
So where are the other blue people?
Well, I do now.
What's your name? Hi. What's your name?
I'm not going to give my name.
You don't have to. Where are the rest of the blue people?
We didn't really coordinate and try and
You didn't feel they didn't feel like coming out today? It's not that important.
Yeah, most of our
Just
people
not
have
that-
jobs.
A lot of people have jobs. Most of our people have jobs. Have you met the Food Stamp 5? Because I assure you that none of them have jobs. Literally none of them. And, you know, the fake victim's not there. Suddenly she doesn't care about John O'Keefe anymore. Krusty Panties is the only one with an excuse who can't come because I have a restraining order on her. The fake victim could not kick me out of this area because the order has been amended and to allow me within 50 yards of any courthouse, and it's expiring in less than 2 months. So there's that. But yeah, so they say that everybody, their side has jobs. You didn't have jobs when the Food Stamp 5 showed up, and you didn't have jobs at these other hearings. Like Joe Warren's got a job. Well, where does he? None of these people ever seem to work. That's 𝗪𝗏? That's her? Is that really her? Oh, is that 𝗪𝗏? Is that her? Oh, is that the chick that? Oh, that's her. Oh, she went by like Aunt Aidanism on Twitter. Is that really her? I don't know. Okay. I didn't think she was that bad. I mean, she's there to support cop killers, but still.
Have you seen your
Not
people?
like the welfare line over there.
Catherine Peter has a job? I didn't know that. Okay. So
oh, is that her? Okay.
So where is everybody then? Like, I mean, where's Jennifer McCabe?
I didn't realize that.
Her sisters who are out here. Where's Plevin? Nobody wants to come out today? You guys kind of like lose your steam a little bit.
So this is John O'Keefe's second cousin, she claims, which she uses to be like, I'm family. She's never met him. Never met him. So she's John's second cousin, and she never met him, and she's showing up like she gives a fuck for attention.
Is somebody talking to us?
Can I ask you something? Is justice for John O'Keefe weather dependent? It appeared because it got a little colder.
I'm here.
See, the pink people are all here. There's probably like 50 or 60 people here in this.
And that's the thing. It's like, yeah, we're out there. We don't care. Like the pink people will be there all the time. Rain, shine. Like when I got let out of jail, it was packed with people. Packed. But I guess they only like to show up when it's summertime, when it's nice outside. Other than that, too much work. Because where were they for the first year and a half? Nowhere. And by the way, they got a bunch of merch there. They're selling merch that nobody bought because none of them showed up.
To you and that little thing, that grumpy little gentleman there. But yeah.
You're even uglier in person.
Have you seen your face? Have you seen? Oh, I think I'm kind of handsome. What do you think? No? I've never seen you at one of these protests before. What made you decide to come out today for the first time? Your support?
I don't think that any family should have to walk into court getting booed and harassed.
Do you support the McAlberts who murdered John O'Keefe?
Let's be real. You know she's guilty.
Oh, of course the McAlberts murdered. Yes, Jennifer McCabe is completely guilty. I agree. So you agree?
Let's
Okay.
be real. You know she's guilty.
So what will you do? What will you do if and when Jennifer McCabe is arrested or indicted by the FBI? What will you do? Will you just pretend this never happened?
That's all they have is, Karen Reed's guilty. That's literally all they have. Besides, I hit him. Okay, so that's what you believe. You don't really believe that.
You know, they know that Karen Reed's innocent. They're just like, you're only taking the position, 𝗵𝗴, because you don't like me. That's literally the only position. So it's just so silly. You don't even argue when they say that.
Just pretend this never happened.
I don't think that will ever happen.
But if it does, what will you do?
I mean, I care about the truth and justice coming out. But
So if Jennifer McCabe is indicted,
so watch
you will
this.
support Karen Reed after that, if she's indicted.
no, because she's encouraged the harassment of
The things
many
that
people.
the things that you have
Oh, look at that face. Look at that face. Oh, there it is. So 𝗵𝗵 here says that if Jennifer McCabe is indicted, she still won't support Karen Reed because Karen Reed has inspired the harassment of Jennifer McCabe, who in this hypothetical situation has been indicted for killing her second cousin. Like what? If any of these people, if Jennifer McCabe and the Alberts do get indicted, and these people are not begging for forgiveness, which will not be granted, by the way, there will be no amnesty. So don't bother begging for. You should beg for forgiveness. It would show somewhat of character on your part. You will not be forgiven. There will be no amnesty, but you should still do it anyway. You know what I mean? You should still grovel a little. But she says right there that she still won't, because first of all, if Jennifer McCabe is indicted, it will literally prove everything Karen Reed said, right? Everything we've all been saying. Yeah, the whole thing was a setup. And if you aren't begging her for forgiveness and embarrassed of what you took part in, then you are a morally bankrupt piece of shit, which 𝗵𝗵 is. I don't know if this, if she's employed, she's like, well, we have jobs. Well, apparently you don't, but, I don't know if she has a job. I wouldn't hire somebody like this. I wouldn't want somebody there who supports cop killers. Disgusting. They see all the evidence. They've seen it. They know goddamn well Jennifer McCabe did this. But it's interesting because she's starting to think here about like what happens if Jennifer McCabe is indicted and she doesn't want to answer that question, as you're going to say.
about John's family in particular.
Will you
John's mother.
will you still support Jennifer McCabe if she's indicted?
I don't think that day will ever come.
But what if it does? But if it
It's
happens, will you support her?
not
Still?
even happening.
But if it does, would you support her if she was indicted?
It's not happening.
'Cause
So
I'm-
it's a moot point.
Well, because some have said that they would. Some have said that they would stick by her even if she was indicted.
Yeah, I mean,
Would you?
I don't think that will ever happen. There's no evidence.
But if it did,
I'm not going to talk about hypotheticals that are just so unrealistic.
you can't say with full conviction.
It's a silly question.
So you don't know. You don't know if you'd support her if she was indicted. You don't know.
I'm saying, I'm not going to talk about a hypothetical that I don't think would ever happen. I support
The family of John
victim,
O'Keefe. Yes.
family. And
So do we.
I think that
We
is-
also support the
No, you
victims.
talk about his mother, and it's disgusting.
I do talk about his mother because his mother's a piece of shit. And we're going to see when we watch this. And just because your loved one died doesn't make me any more I felt bad for her first, but she sucks. So I'm not going to say nice things about her. But I do care about John. I do want justice for John, and I do want justice for Karen. And, there are some decent people out there who gave a shit about John, people like Mike Shute and others who actually knew him and cared about him and realized how wrong this is. And I want justice for them. But these people can go fuck themselves.
Excuse me? I don't even know what to say.
Somebody's coming in over to the fan.
Okay. Well, it was nice talking to you guys. We'll talk later. Okay.
All right.
Have a nice day.
All right. So, none of the McAlberts showed up today. It was great because our side was, and even their side was filled. The only ones there were the three O'Keefes. The dad, of course, wasn't there. He's not sitting on Karen's side. It's not happening. But those three, and then you had John Jackson, who's the guy that went on WAF and couldn't think of one non-generic thing to say about John O'Keefe. Tara Kerrigan, the crazy lady who thinks John has lost at sea and held this picture of a fucking psychopath. And yeah, that's about it. That's about it. Like those two didn't even come in the courtroom. They didn't even come in. They were there when I came back out. and they couldn't be bothered to come inside the courtroom and actually watch the proceedings because they don't give a fuck about any of this. None at all. None of them care. So yeah, that's about that. Okay, cool. So let's get back to, let me just read some turtle chats here, and then we'll watch the hearing today. We got to do that. All right. First up, we got Christina sends $5 and says, is she drunk? Yeah, she might be on meth. I'm not entirely sure. She definitely looks like she's on something, but thank you, Christina. Lena sends $10 and goes, you have Krusty Panties losing her kids to the state. You have Kim getting paid to look after her own child like it's a job. He's 22. And then you have fake victim pulling her kids out of bed, wanting to take them to your house to have a fake abortion in your real driveway. These bitches be crazy. Never trust a crust. Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, that story has started to, since the Bedero letter, you know, we've replayed it. Melanie talked about it on hers. Will did an awesome breakdown of that whole thing. You know, it's fucking fucked up. The more you listen to that tape, you're like, holy shit. And you understand, like, people are learning things about me. Like, I'm actually very patient, with people. You saw that in the messages with that crazy Christina Machete woman, like with dealing with this woman today, with Jill Daniels. You know, like people, I used to be years ago. If you watch the old Turtleboy lives, I would just go at it with ratchets. Go at it with them, you know. Now I've learned to just let them talk and keep my cool. All I can do is the juxtaposition of your calmness compared to their screaming insanity really just tells paints a picture for anybody who's watching it to understand, you know, what's really happening here, who's the real crazy person in this situation. So thank you very much, Lena. Brittany sends $10 and goes, is your trial still on for December 17th? As of right now, yes, but we are going to try to get that moved because we need more. Things have changed since this whole Bedero letters have come out, and we need phones. All right, we need shit. So we have a hearing coming up on November. I think it's next week sometime. Yeah, it's next week, isn't it? I think it's like November 21st. I have court next week. I got November 18th, the Krusty West Roxbury thing. She might go to jail. We'll see. And then we got November 21st. We got my hearing, which we're going to try to get the trial date moved for the violation of the order bullshit. Okay. And before I forget, I also have a picture of Kim Fair's house. Okay, you guys want to see it? I don't know where you got this, but so Jen Altman is the ultimate exposer of this garbage person. Okay, so this is where Kim Fair lives. All right, which is exactly as you imagined it. Okay, I think that's a carport. I don't know what's going on there, but of course, there's just, you know, spare furniture lying around. An unkempt yard, just random ladders. This is exactly how I imagine Kimberly Fair living every day. So there's that. Okay. All right. Anyway, so back to the turtle chats here. So no, the trial date is still on technically December 17th, but stay tuned. Hannah sends $25 goes, hey, doctor. Will you say hi to my daughter, Alexa? Hi, Alexa. Big fans from Marshfield. We love you. Home of Peter Murphy. Thank you very much, Hannah. I appreciate that. I love you too. David Cornish sends 100 big ones. Thank you very much, David. And appreciate the grift, my dude. Thank you. And he says, thank you for all you do. Thank you, my friend. I really appreciate that. And again, people are like, oh, he's a grifter. He's a grifter. I'm not even asking for money. Like people, I ain't going to say no. You know what I mean? If you're just giving, like, I'll definitely take it. You know what I mean? I appreciate it very much so. But people don't give me money because I'm asking for it. They give it to me because they like me and they just want me to keep fighting the good fight. You know, I'm out here doing the Lord's work. Journalism Jesus, taking on the corrupt establishment, putting myself on the front lines of this, taking a personal risk, etc. So there's that. This is Jordan? Jordan. Since $10. Turtle Boy, one thing I've been wondering, is Karen able to work since it's a mistrial? No. I feel so bad that she lost her jobs over this craziness, but I know she's a hard worker, so I'm wondering how she's doing. No, she can't work because she doesn't have a car or a license, I believe, and thus she has no health insurance or had no health insurance. And her full-time job is working on this case and fighting for her life. That's what she does all day. So it's not like she's sitting around doing nothing all day. Like, she's busy as fuck for a woman who doesn't have a job, So thank you very much, Jordan. And Lena sends $10 and goes, Kim was really nice to you at first. Some of these people are obsessed with you. I mean, she was. She almost seemed like starstruck when I first got there. You live rent-free in their heads. The other side should be called turtle haters instead of Justice for John O'Keefe. They're jumping on this case to talk shit about you. As my mother says, any attention is better than no attention. Well, thank you very much. Your mom's a smart lady. Deb M sends $25 and goes, happy birthday, Garrett, a.k.a. Turtle Boy's #1 fan. Happy birthday, Bear. Thank you very much. Sarah sends $5 and goes, from Oklahoma, will be in Arlington in February. Arlington, Mass. What's the best way to get to Mass for a standout? Any public transportation? You'll have to, I'm not entirely sure, Sarah. Arlington, you're real close to Grant if you're in Arlington. He's one town over in Belmont. You never hear about any like standouts in Cambridge or Somerville, Revere. I never hear about shit out of there. Lynn, you don't really hear a lot in that North Shore area. You hear a little in Woburn and Stoneham, that whole area up there. Definitely a lot of turtle riders up there, but definitely I think it's bigger on the South Shore. But yeah, we could definitely use some more rep up there. You know what I mean? Everett, Chelsea, Malden, Medford, all you fine people. Okay. Thank you for that. Let's see. I don't know. It just did. Sends $5 and says, hey, Auntie Bev, why don't you and the Naples mofo Sean take a red eye to Guatemala and don't come back? Again, not even going to get into Sean. But yeah, I don't really give a fuck what Sean does. Where it comes back makes no difference because you can't come back if you never came in the first place. You know what I mean? Like, he hasn't left Florida, so there's really nothing going on. So thank you very much for that. Lori sends $5, goes, hey, Auntie Bev. It's the same exact one. It says, why don't you take a red eye to Naples, Florida, pick up that mofo in Naples, and go play in the jungles of Guatemala? Okay. Thank you, Laura. Frank sends $10, goes, I just moved out of Canton a few years ago. I lived there for a few years. Nice town. Who knew? It is a nice town. It still is a nice town. Just got to get the McAlberts out of there. Thank you. Britt sends $10, goes, it's been a while. Still here, still following and listening, proving that even though we have different political views, you're still awesome. Keep doing your thing. Free, Karen Reed. Well, thank you very much, Britt. I appreciate that. Jojo sends $25 and says, God bless you, Journalism Jesus. I'm a Norfolk County native, and I'm so thankful that you are relentless in uncovering the festering corruption in this cesspool. Keep up the great work. Well, thank you very much, Jojo. I'm proud to do so. Let's see. Let me see if I have any Cash Apps, and then I'll just take Turtle Chats one more time. I definitely felt one Cash App in here. Yeah, Lorena, who is there today, sends $5 and goes, Nanette, stop being fucking lazy. Nanette, stop being fucking lazy. Come on, Nanette. Cut it out. All right. A-Rod Rodriguez sends $10, goes, I was dying laughing when the lawyer told Tom D, fuck you. That was funny. Then Ferris pushed him. Ferris needs to be bitch slapped. Yeah, Ferris is just such a thug. But it was funny. You got to admit, it was funny with that lawyer because he's so old. He's so old. He's been around since the beginning of time. I think he was at the crucifixion, actually. I think he witnessed it. He's a witness in that. He was a witness in the murder trial of Jesus. That's how old he is. So, like, he just showed up out of nowhere, this spunky little fireball, 𝗃𝗄𝗄𝗆 Sr. Tom goes, all Tom said to him was literally 2 words. He just goes, "Good morning." And then he just fires back. He just goes, "Fuck you." Like, what? Where did that come from? Why is this guy so spunky? And then he accused Tom of criminal acts. Like, that is the most McAlbert thing I've ever seen. That really happened. It's like they really are the Mandelbaums from like Seinfeld. Him and 𝗃𝗄𝗆 Jr., who was in court today. Mandelbaum. Like, that guy, that was funny. You got to give him that. That shit was funny because you just didn't see it coming. He just goes, "Fuck you." What? Sir, you have a suit on and a tie. Why are you speaking like that? You're a lawyer. Oh, right. You represent Jill Daniels. It all makes sense now. Okay. Jen sends $25 and goes, "I guess Trump's garbage truck missed them on trash day because of the holiday. Maybe next week he'll pick them up." I know. Trump driving that garbage truck was hilarious and working at McDonald's. It was genius. When you look back at his campaign and like having Elon and like Levy and Bell was talking a lot of shit on Twitter for Trump. Like, Trump became like a cultural. There's a reason so many like more black people and Hispanic people voted for him this time around, is because he made it like he just embraced being cool, you know? So thank you, Jen. I appreciate that. Lisa sends $10 and goes, "Thanks for being you. Your hard work is appreciated." Well, thank you very much. And $10 from Jen says, "Can you quickly talk about the Melrose teacher before you begin reviewing today's trial? Did they fire him?" To my knowledge, he has not been fired, but if he is, there will be an update on that. So go check that out. I could write stories like that all day about these out of control people who just think that because they're mad, because they're upset about how a presidential election turned out, that you can just go online and just say horrific shit about other people because they didn't vote for the person you wanted them to vote for. Unacceptable. Like, if you're a teacher, people are like, "Oh, doesn't he have free speech rights?" Sure he does. Yeah, you absolutely have a right to free speech. What you don't have a right to is being a public school teacher. That's not a right. That's a job. You're a professional. And welcome to the digital age, whether it's fair or not, where you are on the clock 24/7. You always represent your employer when you go out in public. And when you say things online, you are representing your employer. Welcome to grown-up world, you child, okay? So thank you for that one. If anyone else wants their message read, you can click the link at the top for Turtle Chat, or you can cash at me at $UncleTurtleboy. I'll read one more here from Nicole T. She sends $50. Thank you much, Nicole T. And she says, "Hold the night and Zoomass girl here that you met today." Oh, that was you, Nicole. Nice to meet you. She's from my town, and she's from here. I didn't grow up in this town. I grew up in Worcester, and she went to UMass. So that's 2 things we had in common. And then she said, "Can you give my kids Cole and Kyle a shout out?" Shout out to Cole and Kyle. Love you guys. They tell me no more Turtleboy or Karen Reed talk at the dinner table. I'm teaching them about the legends. Trust me, Cole and Kyle, it's an acquired taste. You'll appreciate it when you get older. Just eat your vegetables. That's all I ask. All right. So let's finally watch what actually happened in court today, because it was a doozy. It was a doozy. All right, so there's Peggy started off by laughing, I guess, because this is funny to her.
Or fourth, either one. I can do 2 o'clock. The third will get better.
Zoom ass.
I came out the stairs with 𝗃𝗄𝗆.
𝗃𝗄𝗆? What? Hold on, I just want to see the part where they laugh. It's so funny. It's so funny.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Like, what are they laughing at? Like, they're like laughing and shit. And who's on the hot mic? That's what I want to know. She's like laughing. There's John Jackson and Crazy Tara. Waiting for John to come back from sea. Hot Pocket's not there. Hot Pocket is not there today, I noticed. All right, so let's fast forward to when. And by the way, they kept us outside forever today just because they could. They're such dicks. And then they let in 10, and they ended up letting a lot more in. But it was like, bro, come on. They're just being dicks just because they can. At least we were back in this courtroom. At least we had that going on. Oh, there I am. Yeah, back on TV. Back where I belong. With the lovely Meredith. And I did notice there's more to the Reed entourage here. Some new faces here I'm seeing. I think this is her civil attorney, which, I mean, think about it, bro. What a mistake they made by that civil lawsuit. He's just got to be sitting there thinking, who can I depose? He can depose any of these motherfuckers. Ken Berkowitz, he could depose. You know, Kevin Albert, he could depose. There's so many people that, because there's no rules. Like in a civil lawsuit, you can just depose anyone you want and make him answer questions. This guy's just sitting there like, who am I deposing? And I don't know who these three are, but they look younger, and they were all sitting with the Reed family today. And they look sharp too, you know what I mean? They look like smart people. So maybe I find out who they are later. I'm interested to know who they are.
Shall be heard. God save the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. School is now open.
Identify themselves for the record.
Okay.
Good morning, Mr.
Well,
Identify themselves for the record.
good morning, Your Honor. My name is Hank Brennan. I've been appointed as a special prosecutor for the Commonwealth. Along with me is attorney Laura McLaughlin to my left,
Good morning, Mr.
and attorney Adam Lally.
Good morning, Mr.
morning.
Brennan. Good morning, Mr.
How embarrassing. First of all, his voice, he sounds like prepubescent Lally. Like, bro, can you go through puberty or what? Like, are we doing this or not? And like, I can't believe Lally's there. This is literally getting cucked. You were the man, Lally, for a while there. You were the guy that was supposed to get Karen Reed, and you didn't do it. And you got your ass got benched. You're Mac Jones, Mac Lally. That's what you are. You got benched. Chain smoker extraordinaire. And you got replaced by this guy who's only making $75,000, which is probably like 75% of your salary. At least. Probably more than that, I'm guessing. I don't know how much you get paid, but probably not that much. Whatever it is, it's more than you're worth. Let's just know that, Lally. It's more than you're worth. And so when I hear this guy's voice too, it's like, bro, this is. Ugh. Anyway, let's play some more. Again, this is the guy. They told us that this guy. They told us that Hank Brennan was going to be the guy. Like he's a badass. They keep saying he's fuck around, find out. That's what the TikTok lady told us. Remember that? Oh God, I could do a whole stream on her. What a trash bag she is. Fuck around, find out. Yeah, okay. So let's find out. Well, I found out today what this guy's all about.
Good morning, Ms. McLaughlin.
For the defense.
Good morning, Your Honor. Alan Jackson on behalf of
Good morning, Mr. Jackson.
Good morning, Your Honor. Elizabeth Little, also on behalf of Ms. Reed.
Good morning, Ms. Little.
Good morning, Your Honor. David,
To start with the Rule 17 motions. So the first Rule 17 motion I have is the Commonwealth's motion for records from Verizon. But I do have a question for you Mr. Brennan, have the third-party record holders been served in all?
So I'm going to pause right there. I'm going to switch over to the YouTube version of this because I can do 1.5 speed on that. I don't think I could do that on Facebook. All right. So let's playback speed 1.5. Okay.
Along with
We'll get a date, and that date should be. The first Rule 17 motion I have is the Commonwealth's motion for records from Verizon, but I do have a question for you.
So this is all right. So the first thing they wanted on the agenda was to get Bill Reed's phone. Now this is just stupid. Okay. Because they're going, oh my God, I can't believe this sometimes. Like the 𝗫𝗄𝗄𝗃 and people like that of the world are saying online, why did she call her dad at 1:15? Why'd she do that? She must have she must have just killed John O'Keefe then. And she must have gone and like, Dad, I just killed this motherfucker. What do I do, Dad? What should I do with the dead? What should I do? I just killed him. Right? That's they say that because Nicholas Guarino testified that she called her dad. Right? And so they all are bringing this up. So we need Bill Reed's records. Okay, number one, as we're going to see, she never called her dad. She doesn't speak to her dad, according to the Celebrate records, until 6:32. So that was all a lie. The whole thing about she called her dad turned out to be completely made up. That never happened. We'll see if Nicholas Guarino is held responsible for that. Right? Never happened. She did not call her father. Just completely made up. Completely made up. And on top of that as well, so they want his phone records for what? They already have her phone records. So they can see if he was on there, anytime they talked, it would be on her records. And it doesn't happen until 6:32 after John's body's found. So why do they want her phone or his phone so bad? And even if they get his phone and they see suppose a call did happen at 1:14 a.m. It's not like they could hear what they talked about. You just see a call happened. So what would that even prove? It would prove nothing. So that's it. It's the same shit. Like, what are they looking for here? They just want to invade his privacy. So even if they lose this motion and the Commonwealth gets Bill Reed's phone, okay. I mean, the fact that this is what they're thinking is going to be the game changer in trial 2, it's like, bro, you got nothing. If that's what you're looking for, you got nothing. Like you're not even looking for anything. You don't even know what the fuck you're looking for. It's like when they tried to prove when they got my bank records to see if Kearney bought me a Lexus. Like what? This is really what you're doing, dude. So this is what this motion is for, is to get his goddamn phone. But even if they got it, who gives a shit? So there's just a problem, though, with this motion. Hank forgot to do something.
Mr. Brennan, have the third-party record holders been served in all of these Commonwealth motions pursuant to Rule 17?
Thank you, Your Honor. I understand the court might have a preference that I remove the podium. Would you like me to?
It's wherever you're comfortable, as long as we can hear you.
Oh, so stop right there. I understand the court might not have a preference if we go to the podium. You know what a real man would do right now? You know what a real badass would do? He would go to the fucking podium. He would go to the podium. He would command a presence in this courtroom. It's his first fucking day on the job. You're the new guy. And you should want to be in front of the cameras. You should want to be like, there's a new sheriff in town, and boy, does he have a big old dick. And Hank Brennan's here, baby. And it's a different game now. Ain't gonna be no more lunchbox Lally up here mumbling. Big Dick Hank's here. Spanky. And I would be walking right up to that podium, right in front of the camera, and I would just be authoritative about it, but not him. Not him. What'd the court like me to do? You're just kissing his ass. Kissing around. Where would the court like me to go? Does the court have a preference? Okay, yeah. It's like he's got to be close to mommy. Exactly. I mean, pathetic. This guy was just, all I heard about was what a badass this guy was going to be. And all I saw was a big fat pussy. That's all I saw today. Just a $75,000 pussy. That's all I saw in court today.
I filed a series of Rule 17 motions, as I'm sure you're aware. I have not notified any of the third-party holders.
Oh.
I did not want to be presumptuous, seeing that I have not met the court and didn't know what the schedule would be for Rule 17s.
Okay.
So I filed.
Okay, so he didn't do his job. When we send out Rule 17s, like we sent one to the fake victim, we send out the summons form. We let him know we're trying to get your phone. He doesn't even send it out. He never sent it to Bo Reed. Never sent it. Because I didn't want to be presumptuous, Your Honor. I thought you were Hank fucking Brennan. Oh, presume away. I mean, you're Hank Brennan. You're a fucking badass. You're a cowboy fucking attorney, bro. Come on here. They ain't no Lally anymore. Come on here. You don't wait for fucking the court to tell you to send a summons. Motherfucker, you just send that shit. Rule 17's up the ass to everyone. He's like, oh, I wanted to get your permission to send the Rule 17 out first. Judge Kearney, can I have permission to do that? Motherfucker, you don't need my permission. Just send that shit out. And she's like not happy about this. Are you fucking kidding me?
These just to give everybody as much notice as possible. And my intention was to ask the court if we could set a date so that we could have these motions heard and hear the defendant's objections.
Okay. All right. So I misunderstood. I thought they were on for the Rule 17 motions today. All right. So the record holders do need to be heard. I was wondering why I did not hear from any of the parties other than I have the defendant's objection to Mr. Reed's records. But all right. So
that's a real interesting theory, Scott McGinnis. That is so true. Yeah, I do wonder because he's a real involved parent, and I think he has a relationship with the media, and yeah, I think that's what they want to know. They want to know who's he been in contact with the feds. That's why they wanted my phone. That's why they wanted the fake victim's phone. They just want to see who's talking to the feds. That's such a great point, Scott. That's exactly what they want from him. Anyway, back to this.
We'll get a date, and that date should be sooner rather than later to get notice out to all the parties.
Yes, Your Honor. I'll note that we did file 2 additional Rule 17s last night. I don't know if they've been docketed.
They have been docketed. I got them, and that's why I was wondering whether the record holders had in fact been notified. So, okay. So scheduling we'll do at the end of the hearing. Then I think what we'll start with after these Rule 17s that we'll put on pause. It's paper number 48. It's the defendant's motion for relief from the order to impound sidebar conferences. And before we begin that, is there an opposition to that from the Commonwealth?
In part.
Okay.
No, God.
All right. Have you spoken with Mr. Iannetti about what part that is?
I've spoken to all the attorneys numerous times. I think we're very clear what each other's position is.
Okay. All right. Why don't you, all right, Mr. Iannetti, do you want to be heard by starting with the whole motion or what?
I think we can short circuit this, Your Honor. Our suggestion, I think it's a joint suggestion to the court, is that the sidebar conferences.
Just look at the way David Iannetti carries himself, though. It's just so much more broad-shouldered, this deeper voice, like a man. And Hank Brennan just seems like just Revenge of the Nerds, like up there, like, nah, you're right, all right, okay. I mean, I can't believe all the bullshit I heard about this guy being some badass attorney. Again, I just see a $75,000 pussy. That's all I see. That's it.
Be unsealed solely for counsel at this point. Mr. Brennan's at somewhat of a handicap because unlike the defense team, he was not present at sidebar. He does not know what the conferences were about. And in fairness to the Commonwealth, we've agreed that it just be released to us, and then Mr. Brennan can decide if he has a further position regarding unsealing it more than that.
Okay. How quickly can she get them?
She works extremely expeditiously, but she has not started them. To my understanding, there's 3 reporters who probably would split the work.
Right.
And she said that she could get started as soon as there was a court order. To my experience with this case.
All right.
Yes. I would imagine that.
And by the way, I have to say, the beard plays. It works. He had that during the 𝗏𝗏𝗄𝐴cy trial. I think the beard plays. And I usually am like anti-beard, but with AJ, it works. I just want to throw that out there.
When we get to the second stage of this, those would be in a different category from the legal rulings at sidebar unrelated to yours.
$75,000 pussy.
All right. Thank you.
If I could be heard briefly.
For sure.
Regarding non-juror information, I'm in full agreement.
Stop it! Stop it!
The documents, I can review them.
Counsel can review unimpounded documents.
And I'll begin that task. And if there's any concerns, I'll note them. If not, then I would have no concern about releasing them outside of protective order. The juror information stands in a different process.
Naughty.
I think that should remain impounded at this point. There's a pending appeal before the SJC based on the request of the defense. If they are successful,
Okay. Shut up, nerd. Shut up, nerd.
Expressed a preference to be able to.
This is like
potentially.
This is boring.
So
this
we
is
were in
about
agreement subject to the court.
Impounding.
By next week, really.
Okay, no one cares about
this.
this.
Caution, and they get every statement they're entitled to. And so my response in writing really is to accommodate the request without any.
27th, talk about the Commonwealth's notice of scheduling, reassembly and testing of the defendants.
Okay,
telematics.
here we go.
May I?
Yes.
May I?
Background, as I think the court is likely aware, the Commonwealth tested information on data chips that were found in different modules that were inside the defendant's Lexus. Inevitably, at trial, the court is likely aware that there's information taken from one of the systems that was provided, and it showed information such as key cycles and different speeds. And I understand that was a exhibit at trial. There were two different search warrants by the government. One search warrant was for the car that included both a telestream and a telematics module, which is like a lunchbox with computer panels in them.
Lunchbox.
And then in 2023, there was a second search warrant for the infotainment system, which is what was produced at trial. I hired an independent expert, and in the independent expert of the information, what he realized is that the information taken from the informatics manual and the information taken from the telestream manual had some irregularities. What he realized is that all of that data was unreadable. And so initially he thought that the data was not fully downloaded or compiled. He checked and he believed that gigabits were gigabytes and that there was discrepancy. And the reason he thought this is because there was very obvious information missing from that procedure. There was information including navigation.
So remember, their expert, Shannon Burgess, who they found after, because he's friends with Jessica Hyde, said that he could look through the basically the chip from the the infotainment system that will show where she went and when and how fast she was going and shit like that. That only 1/8 of the data was properly extracted. He's like there was 8 gigabytes of whatever that were, or 8 megabytes that were downloaded. It should have been 64. Should have been 64. Not realizing that actually the 64 is megabits because there's 8 bits in a byte. So yeah, there was 64 megabits, but no, there should not have been 64 megabytes because that's something completely different. There's 8 megabytes, and that's all that should have been there. So he's like, he acted like there's information missing, and he's like, the missing information will show exactly how fast she was going at exactly what time. You know, like it's really important information because there's there's only 1/8 of the bytes are there. As it turns out, there's nothing missing at all. And talk about embarrassing. Like they had to get the defense had to hire their own expert who was like, bro, that's not how megabytes and bits work. And now the Commonwealth they've had a couple days to swallow this humiliation, and they're just like trying to still come up with ways. Oh, there still might be some stuff missing, but we mixed up the bytes and bits.
Information regarding phones that were plugged into the radio, travel logs, things that are particularly relevant material in this case, information that is going to be extraordinarily inculpatory or exculpatory in this case. And so after he realized his oversight on the gigabit, he filed a supplemental report. And what we learned is not only was the chips that were taken from the telematics and infotainment systems and downloaded were read with the wrong reader. So that way the information was not available.
What?
Also in the the infotainment system, there were actually 3 boards, not 1. Only one was taken.
Okay.
So there is a plethora of information on these chips that has not been downloaded at all at this stage. And so we provided notice to the defense that our intention is that we are going to test this information that we have in our control and that we have a search warrant for. And my effort was to give them notice so they can have an available expert. So my purpose really was not to ask for the defense's permission. Rather, it was to notice them. This is what we were going to do. You can see from my motion, I asked to do it within 14 days. Having recently arrived at the case, it was important for me to prioritize Rule 17 motions and new experts so that they could have adequate notice. The defense asked for today's date and wanted more time, and when I considered it, I thought that was reasonable. I think they were entitled to have an expert and consider what we are doing, even though I don't believe they have standing to prevent it. And so that's why I agreed to this date. Inevitably, we know that this information will be on these chips. And so we know there are 2 boards on the system that were tested, and then the other chips that were tested that came back with unreadable information with the proper computer programs, they call them programmers, we will get viable information from both of them. so I've spoken to the defense. I know they've hired an expert. I know they filed a motion contesting our position. I'm not going to speak for what their position is today. But I would say two things. One, the defense in the motion asks to have their expert be able to intervene. We're not agreeable to that. They can watch and comment and criticize as much as they want, but we're entitled to the download. No.
Okay, so the problem with this testing is it's destructive. It's destructive. So like this will be destroyed when they test it. So it needs to be done right the first way. And the problem with Shannon is he appears to be incompetent. He doesn't know the difference between bytes and bits. And somebody named Olivia Lambeau on the internet machine figured this out before he did. And then here we are. So this is a murder trial. This is alleged evidence that could exculpate or inculpate, he says, the defendant. So, maybe we shouldn't destroy it if it's got that, at least because there's a way to test it, I guess, without destroying it. But I don't know if Shannon's the guy to do that because Shannon doesn't know the difference between bytes and bits. So maybe Shannon's not the best guy for the job. And he's saying, well, you can have someone come to Houston and watch Shannon do this, but you can't interview. You got to let Shannon cook. You can't be stepping in and saying, oh, you don't do that, So go on.
Notably, when the first download was done, the Commonwealth deferred to the defense expert to do the download. That's not my position. I don't defer that responsibility. But it was the defense expert that overlooked the proper reader that was needed for the chips that were tested. And it was.
So the defense expert was Maggie Gaffney, a former state police who does this for a living. And we've been over her resume before. And she didn't get it wrong. She actually got it right because she knows the difference between bytes and bits. So they're like, Maggie Gaffney missed all this. No, it's not how it works, pal.
The expert that overlooked the fact that there was 3 panels in the system, not 2. And our expert was astute enough to find those oversights. And that's why we now have an independent expert that is going to do this. I know experts differ. They're not frick or frack. They all have different opinions. But we've attached all of the protocol, what we intend on doing. And the reason I brought it before the court is I wanted to expedite this matter. It's important. And
I thought we were going to have that hearing within 14 days when we first got the motion. And then Mr. McDermott told me that the defense was looking for more time. So we gave this. But we're far into the case is scheduled currently for January 27th.
She's done.
We have a lot to do before then. But as of right now, it's still January 27th. So all of these things, the Rule 17 motions, all of these things need to be done as soon as possible.
She really wants the trial to start on January 27th. Really wants it to start. She's like, bro, you got to hurry this shit up. Come on. Get it tested. Come on, let's go. Let's go. I get the start. I got a hair appointment. I don't want it to happen on January 27th. And I was reminded why today, because that shit is cold. It was fun doing it. It was the perfect time to have a trial. We did it. The weather got better the whole time. It was a little cool when we started out, and then it got better and better. At the end, there's a big fucking barbecue. It was great. That's just not going to be so cute in February. I'm good. I want a nice April trial again, please.
So
I understand. And if I can just add, it might help in your consideration of a later motion. The reason why this is urgent to me to have this as soon as possible is because I also have noticed and hired an accident reconstruction expert. And that accident reconstruction expert will necessarily rely upon the information that is gleaned from this testing.
How long is this test?
So I didn't even catch that part. He's hired an accident reconstruction expert. Who's that? Because is his name Trooper Paul? Because I hope the defense calls him. I hope they do, because that guy was fucking awesome. I want that guy. Just put Trooper Paul in my veins. That shit was dope. Bring that guy back. That was fucking awesome. I love that guy. Bring back Trooper Paul, man. He was a trip. But yeah. And yeah, maybe Matt Gatz. We got to get Matt. Matt Gatz is the AG now. He's actually kind of based, Matt Gatz. Maybe we get him involved in this. The guy's interesting. For a conservative, has a lot of liberal positions on some shit, especially with criminal justice and stuff, and regulations and stuff. So yeah. Anyway, maybe Eddie Richards is the crash reconstructionist. So I don't know who they're going to get to say that Karen. I mean, give it a shot. That's all I got to say. Get anyone up there and attempt to explain those scratches on his arms and the injuries. Just give it a shot. I'd like to hear it. Let's hear it, because it'll be something very different from Trooper Paul's.
Going to take.
It's a 3-day testing. It will take within a week to read it. And the sooner we have it, the sooner we can have our reconstruction expert engage in any type of task that we want them to, but they necessarily are in a holding pattern now. And that is my sense of urgency for this to be developed and done.
Who's arguing this for the defense? Okay, okay, Mr. Jackson.
See how he goes to the
I'll start by saying, in principle, we don't have an objection to the retesting of the telematics or the infotainment center, our system data. The problem that we have, our issue, sort of dovetails into what Mr. Brennan was suggesting about what was done the first time. He just suggested that his expert was his new expert, Mr. Shannon Burgess, was astute enough to find something that Maggie Gaffney didn't find. Well, to bring the court completely up to speed, when the initial testing was done, the Commonwealth's expert did not know how to do a chip off. Physically did not know how to do it. It was 𝗀𝗏. He turned to Maggie Gaffney, our expert, who did know how to do it. She's a former MSP officer and extremely facile in this world.
And you have a different expert now. You're not using her now?
Well, we may use her, but we have an additional expert who specifically works, Mr. 𝗺𝗂𝗄, specifically works in chip-offs and chip-ons.
So this new expert we went over his resume to, 𝗺𝗂𝗄, this is what he does, chip-offs. Like, this is his expertise. And he's the guy that said, no, that's not how it works. You got to know bits and bytes. You don't know the difference.
That physical procedure of moving chips on and off of boards. It's a very technical procedure. It's a very skilled procedure. He knows how to do it. He's got an extremely long resume. Having done this kind of work,
I read it.
We're bringing him up to speed.
I read it. She's such a cunt.
Some oversight and some observation. I don't have a principled objection to doing retesting. What I have a problem with is that their new expert, Mr. Burgess, right at the beginning, fundamentally misunderstood the data set on the 3 chips, the 2 micron chips and the 𝗪𝗏 chip that he looked at, didn't understand the difference between megabytes and megabits, gigabytes and gigabits, and that gave us pause. If he didn't understand that, which is at the foundation of reading the data, we're concerned that some of the data could be destroyed in whatever process he engages in. Like I said, I don't have a we don't have a principled objection to the work that's going to be done. We simply want to make sure that nothing is destroyed in doing that work. It's not, and I would take a little issue with something Mr. Brennan said, it's not that the data set is missing information. We don't know that it's missing information. 𝗵𝗏 has now updated software that we believe, I think both sides believe, could be beneficial in culling or teasing out that data set from those chips that didn't exist when Ms. Gaffney did her work previously. She put it on a reader, it was unreadable. It doesn't mean that the data is missing. It means that it's unreadable. As a matter of fact, one of the things that our expert would do and would suggest is that a process called a checksum be done. I'm going to use some made up numbers, but let's say there's 5,123 bits or bytes on a particular chip. You can do a checksum.
I love his mannerisms with the hands too. He always does that. He does the thing a lot where he holds his elbow, that deep in thought like this, always with the watch, the prominent watch that really stands out. Like that fucking watch does this thing a lot like that. Confident.
Determine that there's 5,123 bits and bytes read now. That means down to the bit or the byte, nothing has been altered, nothing's been changed, and we know that we're dealing with the exact same data set. That checksum would be the first process in doing the additional reading. Then they can go back and use the additional 𝗵𝗏 software to see if the data set could be read. After that's done, then my understanding is there would need to be a chip on. They'd need to resolder those specific chips, the 2 micron chips and the 𝗪𝗏 chip, back onto the motherboard, install the motherboard back into the truck, and then turn the truck on. That's the process that I understand. My only request is that our expert, obviously, given his expertise and his knowledge of this information, he should be there to observe. And the only caveat to that is if he makes a determination, working with Mr. Burgess or observing Mr. Burgess's work, that what's about to happen is destructive to the data on the chips, we would ask gently, and I don't think this is much of an ask, that he be allowed to interpose his objection to moving forward, contact both counsel, both parties, and if need be, present his objections either to us to resolve it or to the court for intervention. That's all. I want the work.
Like, that seems perfectly reasonable. They're like, so we'll have an expert there. Our guy will be there. And, if he sees something wrong, he would just intervene and say, I think something's wrong here. Let's get a ruling from the court on this. Spoiler alert, 𝗪𝗏𝗍𝗪 wins this one. She sides with him. And she's like, yeah, just have 𝗵𝗏𝗍𝗪 do it. Like, this is why. Like, 𝗵𝗏𝗍𝗪 does not have to get voir by the court. Nothing. He just gets deputized as an expert. But every single expert they have has to get flown in. You're going to see Marie Russell. They're going to make her come in again.
Done, but I want to make sure that the data set that is on those 3 chips or additional chips that are read is never destroyed or in peril of being destroyed. That's all.
All right. Any response, Mr. Brennan?
The defense expert will not be working with Mr. Burgess. He will be observing Mr. Burgess. The defense expert has no active role in this testing. There is no inherent risk that Mr. Burgess is going to destroy something unnecessarily. This is potentially destructive testing, just as it was the first time. Fortunately, the information was not destroyed the first time, so we can access it again, but it's potentially destructive testing. The defense is not entitled to veto power during the process. That will delay things. It has no role and no purpose in it. And so inevitably, Mr. Burgess is well qualified. Mr. Burgess is competent, and he's going to test these chips and provide the information to the defense. They'll get an exact copy. The idea of checksum.
He's well qualified and confident just because I said so. There's that because I said so. Okay.
There's no mystery to these words. There's a protocol that's followed where they use the old software that was ineffective, and they test to make sure it's the same amount of data that's unreadable. And after they confirm that nothing has been moved or destroyed or tampered with, then they bring in the right programs, the right software, and they'll retest it properly. They'll provide the information that will be available to both us and the defense.
All right, so if I act on this motion quickly, because there isn't a basic objection to it being retested, when can they begin, Mr. Brennan?
Your Honor, I spoke to my expert this morning, and I asked him for a schedule when he could test. I told him I'd like it as soon as possible. We didn't finish the conversation. What he told me is December 2nd or 3rd. I told him that would be inadequate. That's too far out. I want it done before Thanksgiving because time is of the essence. And I think it really develops everything else that will happen in this case as far as other experts. So I need to resume my conversation with my expert, encourage him, and insist that we make some changes in schedule. So I can't give an exact date because that conversation wasn't what I was expecting, but I don't think we can tolerate waiting that long.
Okay. All right, this one I will act on very quickly. All right, so I think that just leaves us with the motion to continue. I know it's a joint motion, but I need to hear from both sides as to why I should do that.
So yeah, they win. She allowed the motion. So now's the motion to move the trial to
And
April.
The request is for an April 1st date. You're not looking to go any further
Both
than
of
that,
them
correct?
request this.
We are not. Your Honor, the Commonwealth has been on this case for some time, and I am newer to the case. I'm not looking for a personal accommodation, but I think the idea of a motion to continue in our joint request is in the interest not only of justice, but I think inevitably, I truly believe it's going to have a more efficient and effective trial.
So first of all, not for nothing, how's that her problem? How's that anyone's problem? Like, bro, so you need to get caught up in the case. How's that fucking anyone's problem? Like, they didn't have to bring you on. They have, there's a guy sitting next to you right now who did the first trial. He didn't do it very well, but he did it. And so how is that Karen Reed's problem? But luckily, Karen Reed's team doesn't object either.
A part of my perspective is to move as quickly as I can, and that's why I started with the Rule 17 motions. I've also tried to retain as many experts as quickly as possible. The experts will need to do whatever testing they're going to have and conduct, and then I need to provide the reports to the defense. The defense then may have counter experts in reciprocal discovery that I want well in advance of trial. When I first entered the case, I was committed to January 27th, and I still am. If the court decides that's more appropriate, I will be ready on January 27th. However, I realized when I was trying to move and facilitate the testing of these chips in 2 weeks, and the government, the defense wanted more time, and I appreciated that their request was reasonable. I began to understand that it is going to take a little bit more time than I wanted to have the experts notice, the reports done, and then the defense have to
hold on.
whatever the information.
Do you call them the government?
I truly believe it's going to take for some time, and I am newer to the case. A part of my perspective is to move as quickly as I can, and that's why the idea of a motion to continue in our joint request is in the interest not only of justice, but I think inevitably, I truly believe it's going to have a more efficient and effective trial. A part of my perspective is to move as quickly as I can, and that's why I started with the Rule 17 motions. I've also tried to retain as many experts as quickly as possible. The experts will need to do whatever testing they're going to have and conduct, and then I need to provide the reports to the defense. The defense then may have counter experts in reciprocal discovery that I want well in advance of trial. When I first entered the case, I was committed to January 27th, and I still am. If the court decides that's more appropriate, I will be ready on January 27th. However, I realized when I was trying to move and facilitate the testing of these chips in 2 weeks, and the government, the defense wanted more time, and I appreciated that their request was reasonable. I began to understand that
The government, the defense wanted more time. Isn't that interesting? I don't think that's, I think that's, first of all, he's used to saying the government because he's a defense attorney. So he's always going up against the government. So he calls him the government there. And, but then it kind of clicked to me because I always wondered why this guy's doing this for $75,000. And now I get it. Well, first of all, he announced he has a paralegal. I don't know who's paying her, but you can bet the taxpayers are because Mello was 80 grand, but then his private investigator was like 30 grand. And then the other 280, the other special prosecutors came on. They got their piece of that sweet potato pie too. And so I guarantee this paralegals ain't working for free. So that's one thing I wonder why this guy's doing this case for 75 grand because he could make more money in private practice. And then it kind of hit me. I was really not doing anything. He hasn't done anything yet. He's like being really, like he's earning that 75 grand. You know what I mean? Like really earning it. Like, oh, you're going to pay me shit? I'm going to do shit. You know, like they're getting their money's worth. They're getting what they paid for here. This guy admittedly hasn't done much at all and is really bad. Like he's no better than Lally. Like we've seen nothing, no return on the investment whatsoever at all. So I get it now why this guy's making 75 grand. And also I get why he's doing this because I think he just hates the federal government. Like when he defended 𝗬𝗲𝗀𝗺𝗀𝗆, like their whole thing was the federal government's a bunch of crooks, even though Whitey was a snitch for the federal government, whatever, the federal government's the bad guy here and my client's innocent and blah, 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 blah. And he lost that one too, by the way. He went to jail and was killed like the first day he got there. So he views the defense as the government because in a way they kind of are, right? Like he knows what's happening here. The federal government is working with Karen's defense team because they're the victims here of a crime, of corruption. And they're going after the smaller government, the 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗆𝗺𝗔𝗍𝗻 and the state police and the Norfolk DA's office. So he still views himself as a defense attorney here. He views himself as defending the 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗆𝗺𝗔𝗍𝗻 and the state police and the Norfolk County DA's office. He is defending them. And he is. Like that's what Lalli acted as the entire trial, was the defense attorney for the 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗆𝗺𝗔𝗍𝗻, right? Like he paid for, like Jen McCabe, if she was on trial for that Google search, right? And they said, okay, well, that's enough to prove that you were involved in that murder. Well, Adam Lalli basically hired 2 experts for her. Experts, I used to use that very loosely, in Jessica Hyde and Ian Whiffen. So he kind of paid for those. So they're acting as defense attorneys for them, and he views Karen Reed's defense team as the government. So I thought that was an interesting little slip up there.
It is going to take a little bit more time than I wanted to have the experts notice, the reports done, and then the defense have time to manage whatever the information is. I do not want to get to a position where we're turning over expert testimony, they're retaining experts to counter that testimony, and then to reciprocate discovery, we are days, weeks, or in the midst of trial. I want to avoid unfairness to the defense at all costs, but I also want to avoid any unfairness for the prosecution, and that includes reciprocal discovery. And certainly the reciprocal discovery cannot happen until I've provided everything that I intend on using. I have tried to exercise extraordinary diligence in this case. In addition to Rule 17s, and in addition to retaining experts, we have brought on my full-time paralegal, and we are going through the entire discovery. And I know it's already been provided, but it wasn't Bates' number, which I'm accustomed to. And we are re-indexing all the discovery and re-providing it, even though I expect most or all of it has been provided. And I'm doing that out of an abundance of caution, so I can be confident that the defense has every document I have that will resolve or prevent any delays at trial of inadvertent late disclosure or any concern or confusion about documents that have been provided. I also, with the office, have diligently moved to obtain all Rule 14 statements so that we can get the information to the defense as soon as possible. I've employed a practice when I'm retaining experts. I don't wait until we've done testing or reports. I immediately give the CVs to the defense so they can get started on.
I'm saying, Lindsay, that's a good point.
Held back when I receive it. If I receive any information that is discoverable or frankly not discoverable, I provide it to them. You can see in my discovery notices when I get emails from strangers with theories that I don't even agree to, that I don't know, I don't evaluate it, I give it to the defense. And so we're doing all of this to try to be as efficient as possible to avoid delays at the time of trial. And it will allow me.
I know, he's such a geek.
Of reducing the witness list substantially.
He's so
geeky. Although it doesn't delay the case, if you allow this motion, I think it will make for a shorter, more effective, efficient trial, and I think it will be, importantly, more fair to the parties involved. And that's why I ask you to consider that continuance. I do not expect that we come before you and ask for another continuance. If something cannot get done in time with an expert of my choosing or that I would like, I appreciate I won't be able to use that expert. And so I think the joint request is something that is legitimate. I think it's well thought. And
Commonwealth experts, there are no reports yet. There have been no disclosures. No forensic testing has yet taken place. And the time frame, according to the motion, is somewhat unclear at this point. Clearly, once testing is complete, disclosures are made. We would have the right to consult with our experts and potentially employ additional experts, depending on what the testing.
Have you been working on that, though, in anticipation?
We have,
okay.
Yes. Mr. Brennan has promised to index all discovery so that both sides can be satisfied that full disclosures have been made. I know he's been working diligently on that. He needs a little bit more time to take care of that. I would remind the court that during the last trial, we were still receiving reports and some discoverable material as trial was ongoing, sometimes deep into a trial. And we're really trying to avoid that this time. It's really not fair to Ms. Reed that discovery is not complete well in advance of trial so that we can assimilate and incorporate that discovery into what would now be a retrial. And our position is, Your Honor, there's simply not enough time between now and January 27th to get all of that done and properly.
No, the comments are great.
By saying that both sides and the court have an interest in having this matter proceed to trial expeditiously. But in our view, and I would expect in the court's view, the most important consideration here is Ms. Reed's right to a fair trial. And in light of what's outstanding and what needs to
I
be
know.
done, we believe she would not be able to receive a fair trial at the end of January. We're essentially asking for a 2-month delay, which I believe is reasonable in light of what we've already discussed. We do not anticipate any further continuance requests, just like Mr. Brennan said. So we'd ask the court to allow this motion.
All right. What do you anticipate we need to do for in-court hearings? You mentioned in your motion, in the joint motion, a Daubert hearing. How many dates are we talking about? We already need a new date now for.
I got to get to the part.
For the 17 motion.
So they try to come up with a
We've
date.
Not yet drafted the motion, but I've given it much thought. The government at trial called a expert regarding a dog bite. Forgive me, I haven't watched
Watch
the
this.
trial.
No, that's fine. All right.
Forgive me, I haven't. The government. Wait, did you say the government called it again? Hold on.
We have not yet drafted the motion, but I've given it much thought. The government at trial called a.
The government at trial. He keeps calling the defense the government. That's twice he did that. Twice. The government called what?
Expert regarding a dog bite. Forgive me, I haven't watched all the trial.
So forgive me, I haven't watched all the trial. Are you fucking kidding? So there's random YouTubers out there who know this case better than Hank Brennan. Like everybody watching the case right now knows it better than Hank Brennan. All of you. So by the way, if he didn't watch the whole trial, then how can he be so convinced that he's joining the right side? Like that's another question. So you haven't watched the actual trial and you're just jumping in on this? But what if she's innocent? Like, don't you want to like look at the case? Or you're just a whore. Like he's basically just a whore. He's a $75,000 whore and a $75 pussy too. That's what he is. He's just a fucking whore. That's like, oh yeah, you just put money in the machine. I will suck your dick. Oh yeah. Anything, 75 grand. That's my going rate. Anything you want, daddy, done. Just put the money in the machine and you ain't going to get it. It ain't going to be a good blowjob. There's going to be a lot of teeth, You're probably not going to come, but I will make, my lips will make contact with your dick. So that counts. Okay. That counts. That's what kind of whore he is. He's a $75,000 whore, not $1 million whore. He's not going to make you come, but he says, so he's like, he didn't watch the trial, but what does he say about Marie Russell here?
That's fine. All right.
That expert I did not believe followed the proper methodology or had the expertise to make.
All right. Does the defense intend to call?
All right, so he didn't know anything about her, but she's not an expert. Now they've added some expert to. I did notice that they added somebody to the discovery. Some guy named Jimmy Gunn or some shit like that. I looked him up on Twitter. He's like some raging liberal dude from Florida or something. You know who the defense needs? Garrett Wing, Melanie Little. I don't have Melanie Little's contact information. But Melanie Little, when I was in jail, she did a show with this guy, Garrett Wing, and I watched the whole thing from jail. It was my first Melanie experience. And it was so good. She had this expert on because Kofindaver told her that she didn't know like what's an expert got to say about the book. So she went out and found an expert, and that dude perfectly explained how John's bites came from a dog. And he's seen thousands of dog bites. It's like what he does for a living is dog bites. They need that. The defense needs to get that guy on the line right now. Get his ass down there. Dr. Marie Russell was very convincing. Garrett Wing's even better. And the more the merrier. I know it's expensive, but fuck it. We got your back. We're gonna keep raising money. We'll sell more popcorn. Get Garrett Wing here, please. Get his ass here. Put him on a witness list. All right. So he's like, Dr. Marie Russell, who, by the way, was voir dired at the last trial. They made her pay to fly her ass out here from California and voir dired, and she did a fantastic job. And Auntie Bev said she was sufficient. So why the fuck does Auntie Bev need to see her again? Did you forget Auntie Bev? It's like she's looking for a reason now to deny her. You know what I mean?
Oh, doctor, I've forgotten her name.
Dr. Russell.
Dr. Russell, do you intend to call her again?
I expect that she will be on.
All right, so why don't we set a Daubert hearing sometime in December? Does that give you enough time, Mr. Brennan?
It does, Your Honor.
Okay, so why don't we set a Daubert hearing? I know you'll have to fly her in, but why don't we get a date now in December for that?
Does the court anticipate that being a different day than the date we're going to set for the Rule 17?
Rule 17 we're doing as soon as possible. We'll do before that date.
Understood.
So then,
Yeah, this is 10.
hearing on the 11th.
You can take, a lot of people take.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is so they're trying to figure out a date for this next hearing, and she's like, you know what? It's been a 30-minute hearing. Everyone's watching this, and I haven't been a cunt yet. And I'm Auntie Bev, and I drank a whole gallon of cunt juice this morning, and it's time for my inner cunt to come out. And so she's just lets it rip here.
I have a. You cannot do the 10th. Okay.
Your Honor, just to be completely candid, I have nothing on the 10th. I've got to fly out on the 11th. I've got a whole day hearing on the 11th. So I'm sorry, I'm reversing that on the 9th. I'm going to fly out on the 9th. I've got a whole day hearing on the 9th back in California, so I can't fly that day.
So she has a hearing on the 9th in California all day. So he can't go on the 10th, right? Because he's like, got a hearing all day on the 9th. Because, lawyers have other clients.
Court ends at what time?
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
You can take, a lot of people take a red eye, right? Can you come out then?
I do every time.
A lot of people take a red eye. And look at Karen here. Watch this.
You can't fly out on the 9th?
Hold on.
There's no way. I can't take a flight on the 9th.
Is it what time?
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
You can take, a lot of people take a red eye, right? Can you come out then?
I do every time.
Look at her. She just doesn't give a fuck anymore. She's like, are you fucking kidding me? You can take a red eye out. So it's 3 hours. They're 3 hours behind us. So he's supposed to work till 5 California time. So it's 8-hour time. And then jump on a plane. I don't know. The red eye. So that means you're going into the future. So it's really a 5 hours plus 3 hour trip. So an 8-hour trip. And just on no sleep, he's just supposed to go and defend a murder client the next day. That's it. She's that much of a cunt. She is that much of a cunt. Remember before she's like, can you do it on Zoom? Can you do it on Zoom? Can Marie Russell do it on Zoom? Why do we got to pay for her ass to get out here?
You can't fly out on the 9th?
You can't.
There's no way. I can't take a flight on the 9th.
What about the 16th? It's a Monday.
We're fully booked that Monday and Tuesday.
Let's stick on the 13th. Are we still on the 13th?
Sure, if it's available.
Jim,
we just put Gaston on for that day. Yep, we have a full competency hearing, and we also do a Gaston.
Jim's drunk again. Drunk driving Jim.
Did you say the 12th?
I can do the 12th.
I can do the 12th.
We'll accommodate, yes.
All right, so the Darbert hearing will be December 12th.
That'll be at 9 o'clock.
Yes.
So December 12th is our next hearing. I believe. No, then there's another one, November 26th.
And those motions can be filed on the 27th.
We'll get a date on that in just a minute. When are you available for the Rule 17 motions?
Then the Woburn one.
How about November 26th?
I have a trial that morning.
Where?
In Woburn District Court. To the extent that the court would give me a protective order.
Or tell them that you have a trial here, and if I need to speak to anybody, I will.
Okay, appreciate that.
Unbelievable. He goes, I have a trial in Woburn on November 26th in the morning. And she goes, oh, what'd she say there? What'd she say to do?
We're not a trial.
I have a trial that morning.
Where?
In Woburn District Court. To the extent that the court would give me a protective order.
Or tell them that you have a trial here, and if I need to speak to anybody, I will.
Okay, appreciate it.
Tell them that you have a trial here, which he doesn't. There is no trial on November 27th. So he has an actual trial scheduled for another client on November 26th. And she's like, yeah, fuck it. Just tell them you have to come here. Because she's that fucking important. The world revolves around Auntie fucking Bev. What a cunt. What a stupid cunt. And, she sucks.
We're not a trial here with this motion hearing. Okay. I'd like to do it as soon as possible to get those out, get that moving. So November 26th, Jim, can we do that in the morning?
Yes. Okay. I'm told that Mr. Jackson cannot make it.
For the Rule 17 motions, do you need to be here in person?
If I can have 10 seconds.
During this moment, if I could just alert the court that there is one additional Rule 17 I'll have filed by Friday. It is similar to a number of...
File it and send notice immediately of the date.
May I inquire, do I send notice on behalf of the Commonwealth, or does the clerk's office?
What do I do?
Mr. Lally can inform you on the process, but you send it right out.
Yeah, put Lally to work. Have him do something. He's just fucking sitting there. And Laura McLaughlin was sitting there all last trial, and now she's just sitting there some more. Apparently, you need two people to sit there and do nothing. So there's that. Let me end this, guys, by reading this tweet to you. So I had I put this up today. I thought about this a lot, right? Because I've heard from, the McAlbert Mafia how, Karen was being suspicious that morning with the 1:15 phone call, right, to her dad. First of all, if they were actually planning, like she had just killed him, and she calls her dad at 1:15, and they only talked once. Hey, Dad, I killed somebody. Okay, yeah, just go back to bed, and then call me at 6:30, and we'll pretend like we got this. I'm Bill Reed. That's what I do. I'm cool under pressure like that when it comes to murders. So we got this. So, they said, let me bring this tweet up. All right. And I want to point this out here. So it says, if Karen Reed actually, let's imagine a world in which Karen Reed actually killed John O'Keefe, right? Like she got she did everything they claim she did. She got drunk, got real mad when she went to drop him off there, and just backed into him and got the fuck out of there, right? And let's see, just imagine that actually happened. And then she does this, okay? So if Karen Reed had actually killed John O'Keefe and then led Jennifer McCabe back to the crime scene, what would she say when she got there? What would she say? Would you say, I hit him? Could I have hit him? Why would you say that? If you just fucking hit him with your car, you killed him, wouldn't the first thing you do is be like, how the fuck did he get here? I saw him go in the house. Let's suppose she just killed, the whole thing about going in the house made up and she just fucking hit him. Isn't the first thing you'd say, how the fuck did he get here? I saw him go in the house. And then it would be your word against theirs. Shouldn't that be the first fucking thing you say? I saw him go in the house. That would be the first fucking thing you'd say. You would never say, I just clicked to me today. You would never say that. You would say he went in the house, wouldn't you? Unless you're a fucking retard who wants to go to jail for some reason. That's the first thing you'd say. Absolutely. And so it's like she would have told the cops at the scene, oh, I dropped him off here and I saw him go in the house. And you don't even have to say that they did it. Just I dropped him off here. Jen, what happened? What happened, Jen? I dropped him off there. What happened? First of all, you wouldn't even wake up. You wouldn't even go. Why the fuck would you wake up and go back there? Just let them find him. So her confusion made her the target. You wouldn't wait because she didn't come up with this third-party culprit defense because she's like, how the fuck did he end up there? I swear to God, I dropped him off. I swear to God, he went in the fucking house. How the fuck did he get out here? It didn't even click to her that maybe that these evil people inside just beat the fuck out of him and then left him out there to die to frame you. Who would ever think of that? They didn't come up with that theory until Steve Scanlon came to them, and then it just fucking clicked. And they're like, holy fuck. That's what fucking happened. That makes so much more sense now. Why would this guy just come forward and tell us this shit out of nowhere like this? Why would he do that? So, she'd start blaming other people. What she wouldn't go out doing is going out looking for him. That's another thing. The longer he stays in the cold, the more likely he is to never wake up and tell the world what you did to him, if she actually did it, right? She would just let him fucking sit there. Why the fuck would she go out looking for him? And even worse, why the fuck would she bring witnesses with her? Why would she bring Jen McCabe and Kerry Roberts and drag them into it? Why the fuck would you, what? That makes no sense at all. She would just let him sit there. Okay? The longer he stays there, the better. And think about that. If you're her, if you just hit John O'Keefe and you left him in the snow to die like that, right? Well, you're thinking, fuck. Like, you got to be so nervous because you're like, the first thing I'd be thinking is, did anyone hear that? That was loud. I just hit that motherfucker fast. Accelerated really fast. Did anyone hear that? Did anyone see it? Was anyone looking out the window? It's fucking houses everywhere over here. Did anyone see that? I'm fucked if anyone saw that. You know what I mean? Or they're all going to leave at some point tonight. And I just left his body on the front lawn. Oh, they're all going to see the fucking body. I'm fucked. I'm fucked. But Karen Reed lucked out because some fucking how, not a single person in that house saw John get hit by a car, heard John got hit by a car, or saw his body 10 feet from the curb in the middle of the fucking lawn, highlighted by the snow. Not a single fucking person. Holy fucking shit. Karen Reed hit the fucking jackpot, did she not? She killed this motherfucker, and somehow nobody saw or heard it. Holy, what a lucky fucking break. The last thing you would do if you got that lucky is go back there and draw attention to it and start saying, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. Why the fuck would you do that? That makes no fucking sense whatsoever. At all. At all. There's no way you can explain that. And to top it off, Lucky, the plow driver, who literally sees everything, and that's like his claim to fame. I fucking see everything. I sit on top of Frankentruck with the big fucking lights, and he goes by there, and he doesn't see it. What luck? What fucking luck she had. Holy fuck. She hit the jackpot, and she still went back for some reason. Oh, and then you'd also have to get a little more lucky because there's the Ryan Nagel factor, because there's 3 people in the car behind you. And, you know, Ryan Nagel, the government's position is that Ryan Nagel left before she killed him, right? Before she killed him. So the problem with this is that, according to the government's theory, John O'Keefe was still in Karen Reed's car, right? When Ryan Nagel was there. So Karen's fucked. She's fucked. Because you got not 1, not 2, but 3 witnesses who are all going to testify that John O'Keefe, who's hard to miss because he's 6'2", was still in that car. Because she even had the interior light on. They all testified that. They're going to see his ass there. So she's fucked, right? Well, in another stroke of luck, Ryan Nagel, Heather Maxson, and Ricky D, not one of them sees John in the car. They all report that he's alone. What fucking, oh my God, Karen Reed is the luckiest murderer ever, and she still went back to the scene and said, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. Oh my God. And speaking of lucky, what about Tom Kelleher? He's got a Ring camera video right across the street, and he's the deputy chief of police. Fuck. And the Ring camera's pointed right at the car, right where she killed John. She's like, I'm fucked. I'm so fucked. That's a cop's house right there. There's a Ring pointed right at me. I'm fucked. They just got it all on video. Oh, Karen Reed got lucky. She got real lucky. Because not only did that Ring video not pick up anything, somehow, Michael Proctor didn't even ask for it. Holy fucking shit. Did Karen Reed get lucky? And she still went back to the scene and said, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. What a fucking idiot. Oh my God. Or, what about the taillight? Because Karen Reed just hit him, and now there's 45 pieces of taillight, including one Czechoslovakian looking motherfucker that's the size of a dinner plate. And it's just sitting there. Oh, fuck, that's a whole lot of evidence. And the taillight bloodied up his arm, so it's probably got his fucking blood all over. Oh, fuck, bloody taillight. What am I going to do? I'm fucked. As soon as the cops get there, they're going to find all that taillight, and I'm fucked. Oh, Karen Reed got lucky again. Because what's his name? Gallagher shows up with his leaf blower, and he's looking around there. And not him and Mulaney and Sarath and Lanka and Goody. And none of them see any taillight. Not fucking one of them signs a single. Holy fucking shit. Oh my God. Karen Reed's got to be like, thank fuck. Boy, did I get lucky. Oh my God. I left 1,000,001 ways for me to get caught. Witnesses, cameras, taillight, all this shit. And none of it's there. None of it. Oh my fucking God. Until Michael Proctor showed up. 3 weeks later, and he found that Czechoslovakian motherfucker. And there's another problem. What about this problem? She's got to get back to Meadows Ave, right? Problem, there's ring cameras all over. Every house has a fucking ring camera on that street. And you're going through the center of the town, and there's a perfect surveillance video at the library. So what are you going to do about that, Karen Reed? Oh, well, as luck would have it, at the exact moment that she went through that intersection, the Canton Library video just stopped fucking working for 2 minutes. It just, oh my fucking God. It worked the entire day. And every other minute it's ever existed, except for that time that Karen Reed went by. What fucking luck? Oh my God. Luckiest murderer ever. And you know, normally cops would go down and be like, you'd be like, okay, so she went this way home, so I'm going to pull surveillance cameras from all over the place. Because they did that for the fucking rubber duckies. They pulled surveillance cameras everywhere. But rubber duckies are more of a priority than a dead cop. Thank fucking God. If you're Karen Reed, you're like, oh my fucking God. I should have been fucked 1,000,000 different ways they could get me. And they did it. Oh my fucking God. I got away with it. And then what does Karen Reed do? What does she do with this luck she's had? She goes back to the scene of the crime intentionally, brings 2 witnesses with her, and starts yelling, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. That's what she fucking does. But not before calling her dad, which turned out never to happen, and confessing to him that she murdered John. Oh, and then she left a bunch of voicemails too. Let's not forget all the voicemails that she left saying, I fucking hate you, to give motive, right? And a month before that, because she knew this was coming, she acted like a cunt to the Sullivan sluts. And all because she wanted to give Higgins a blowjob. That's all it was. That's what this is all about. She couldn't resist Higgins. Okay? It's all making sense now. It's all like this is wild. Wild. So the more you think about this, the more ridiculous. Like I just thought of this today. I'm like, wait a minute. For all of this to be true, for Karen Reed to have actually done this, holy shit, she got away with it. Like there is no way she should have gotten away with this. There's 1,000,001 ways to catch her, and she still got away with it, and she still came back, and she's like, oh yeah, so I beat the 1 in 1,000,000 odds, but I'd like to give myself up anyway and go to jail for the rest of my life. That's what the government wants us to believe, and they call you a conspiracy theorist. They call you a conspiracy theorist. Think about that one. Think of how fucking stupid these people are. And no matter how much you laugh at these people and mock them, it is not nearly enough. It is not nearly enough. They don't deserve your respect. They deserve nothing but your outright disdain, ridicule. You should not treat them with any respect. If you debate one of them, you should not be nice to them. You should just laugh at them and mock at them because they are fucking stupid. So there we are. That's my closing monologue, folks. So that's it. So anyway, let me just see if we got any more turtle chats here. Yes, we do. Danielle sends $25 and says, was it you or the glare that called Brennan Pee-wee Herman last year? It wasn't me. I think that was the glare then. The glare. I just want to thank you for that. I can't listen to 2 words from him without a Pee-wee Herman visual, which causes me. He is very much like that. That's a good point. $10 from A-Rod Rodriguez again, and says, imagine the asswipe saying Dr. Russell's not qualified after their expert, who's supposed to take apart the biggest evidence in the case, just got spanked for not being qualified. Yeah. Is Dr. Russell, who already testified, needs to be interrogated. I know, it's absolutely outrageous. PJ sends $5 and goes, Bev doesn't want people outside, so she wants it in January. I wouldn't surprise me there. Lena Stanley sends $5 and goes, just a thought, Jen McCabe's attorney represented Whitey Bulger's girlfriend. Could the McAlberts also be paying Hank Brennan to defend them? It comes across like he's representing the McAlberts, and that's why the word the government is in his head. The McAlberts are panicking due to being a mistrial. Hank Brennan sounds like he has a mangina. Absolutely. No, I don't doubt that he is 100% collaborating with the McAlbert attorneys, Reddington and Krowski, who was there today, who was schmucking it up within the courtroom. So, yeah, there's that. Nicholas sends $10, goes, is it possible the DA has kept your phone for so long because they have access to it, and because they have access to it, and potentially have access to any app, social media, email account, or anything still logged in, and they're hoping to find out about the Fed's conversations? Again, I've logged out of all my other devices, so, too late. But yeah, I'm not sure if that's why. Thank you, Nicholas. But either way, I mean, they've done a full extraction of the phone, I'm sure now. So is what it is. Latina Rodriguez sends $10 and goes, will Hanky Panky be okay if Mr. Reed deletes his calls, screenshots what he wants, upgrades, changes his number, rips up his SIM card? That's no biggie, right? It's acceptable. That's a great point. Because he doesn't have a preservation order. He should just go to a local military base and drop his SIM card off there. And then when they look for it, be like, oh, I destroyed that shit. That's just what I do. Nothing abnormal about that. Oh, and that call from Karen at 1:15 is a butt dial. You see, I was fucking my wife, and my daughter called me, and then I butt answered it while I was fucking her. Imagine when they said, seriously, the people that butt dial fucking, I still can't believe they came up with that. That's perjury. That's fucking perjury. They perjured themselves. When they said that they didn't call anyone, they went to bed, that was a lie. They didn't fuck in the middle. Stop it. Okay. Let's see. A-Rod Rodriguez sends $10 and goes, to the left of Yannetti, next to the blonde. Sitting down is the appellate lawyer for the Commonwealth that spoke on Wednesday. Wonder why he's there taking notes. I didn't even notice that. Interesting. Thank you, A-Rod. Patrick sends $117. Interesting amount. Thank you very much, and generous amount, if I do say so myself. Says, love you, Turtleboy. Meredith, and please hook up with a good doc company. All right. I feel you fucking all this up. Oh, okay. I don't mean to fuck it up. We'll still love you, though. You're our fuck up. Okay. Thank you, Pat. I appreciate the $117. I'm not going to fuck this up, Patrick. Thank you. All right. Pat Bolin sends $5. DB Cooper Con is this weekend in Seattle. Can you please give your opinion on who DB Cooper is and what you think happened? Also, Chris Cunningham is the greatest fantasy football commissioner of all time. Thank you, Pat. Let's see here. Kate Shea sends $25 and goes, thank you for continuing to fight the good fight. You have an amazing balance of no-quit humor and strength, and I thoroughly enjoy watching every stream. You are the best. You might even say I'm King Mofo. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you, Kate. Courtney sends $10, goes, would you ever consider going on a tour to speak to high schoolers about the importance of civics and understanding their role in it? Certainly I would. Certainly I would. I don't know if any high schools would have me. A little bit rough around the edges. But yeah, I would certainly. Thank you, Courtney. Julie sends $10 and goes, I'm a Turtle Roo here. Nice. Turtle Roo fan here. Love catching your YouTube. It's Thursday afternoon here, which is just fucking wild. All the way from Melbourne, Australia. They're all from Melbourne. Keep up your fantastic work. God bless you. You know, a fucking penguin from Antarctica just washed up in Australia the other day. It's like 1,000 miles from Antarctica, which is wild that they're that close to Antarctica, but a penguin just fucking washed up. It's crazy in Australia. Thank you. Julie sends $10. No, that was the turtle roo. I just got that one. Okay, cool. Let me just refresh that. Make sure we don't have any more turtle chats. Emma D sends $10. It goes, where do you buy the cunt juice, sir? Walmart. It's on sale. It's on sale. I got a good deal there. You know, if you wanted to get the store brand, if you want name brand, go to Trader Joe's for your cunt juice. So there we go. Auntie Bev's cunt juice. Oh, we could market that. Auntie Bev's cunt juice in a big bottle. She just pounds it every day before court. Auntie Bev's cunt juice. Never go to court without it. Got a couple more cash apps here. From Nancy sends $25. It goes, Microdots said the feds proved the district attorney okayed phone destruction. Microdots said that? Okay. I mean, David Yannetti said that in a pretrial hearing, which it sounds like they did. So thank you very much, Nancy. Because they spoke with Steve Nelson like the day before, and then like Steve Nelson gave them a heads up. The preservation orders coming. You might want to get rid of your phones. Yeah, fucking scumbag, that piece of shit, Steve Nelson. Anon sends $5 and goes, can we get cliff notes on those state police emails? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Thank you, Anon. And Anon also sent $10 and goes, what's up to my favorite learned doctor? What's up, Anon? All right, cool. All right, let's make sure there's no more turtle chats. Lisa, last one of the night, says, thanks for that brilliant closing. I love your approach of stating the facts so clearly. Stay strong. We love you. Well, thank you very much for that. And I love you too. The Natalie stuff is not for you. Actually, I got to message somebody. Hold on. Okay. All right. Anyway, all right. Anybody got anything? I'll tell the Natalie story another time. How do I get your book? It's on Amazon. Go on Amazon, check it out. It's at the bottom of every blog I publish as well. Every article I publish, you can see it on there as a link. Just Google I am Turtleboy, and I bet you it will come up if you just Google I am Turtleboy. Does it come up? Yep, it's the first thing that comes up. There we go. Hope you guys enjoy. Yeah, that was epic, Dr. Turtleboy. Thank you. Yeah, the closing monologue there. Maybe I'll do that more often. The Turtleboy closing monologue. But I'm glad that I hope everyone watches and learns from this. Me too. I'm a teacher, you know. Betero was talking about something completely unrelated to the Kearney case with that. So I got confused by that too. I texted him and he's like, it's unrelated. Okay. So, all right. All right. Oh, I'm a doctor. I'm totally a doctor, Megan. 100%. All right. Good night, Daddy. Loved it. Oh, see, some people still call me that. Hawkeyes. There we go. All right, guys. I'm going to call it a night then. So, you know, when you're tired, your contacts start falling out. It always happens to me. So anyway, we'll see you guys for the sex cult tomorrow night, for those of you in it. And by the way, shout out to all the fine people today who went down to the, not only at the courthouse, but also who went and protested at Michael Morrissey's office. I'd like to share some photos of that as well. So love you guys. Keep up the good work. Justice is coming. Love you, fine people. Peace to you, bum crease.